Does it work? Is it working?
You guys hear us?
Womp womp. Stream down. I hope it's still working. Gives me anxiety. You know what we should? Let's go ahead and watch what I want to watch.
That sounds
Hmm.
like a good idea.
But people won't like it. So we should turn that light on, but that light off.
I'll turn that light off if you turn that on.
Oh, you want both lights off.
I thought you wanted that light off.
And turn it.
My face, whenever you first turned it around, I was like, no, no, I mean, it's fine. I just, like, I wasn't expecting it. And I looked at my face on this. It was like, face.
Oh, long
I was like,
face. Surprise horror jump. Well, I'm glad you're still here, or you came back. Not sure. What happened? Or I guess I should say, what happened? We have a mic right here.
hey.
Oh, I had to refresh this. Glitched out. Yeah, I don't know what. My computer has been possessed. It's been bad. It's been real bad. Bad. It has been.
Mm-hmm.
Now, videos waiting on his son. Or should I play YouTube? So what did you pick to show us your horror aspect? Hey, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. YouTube. I can do that from here, right? And then I would like to do... I'm gonna play this for fucking sure. I have an idea. So I love these guys so much, and they do like horror, like, oh no, investigations?
Paranormal investigations?
Yeah, they're so good.
Waiting on some ghosts.
I'm waiting on some ghosts. I should do a. I'm sorry, it's gonna show up super huge.
There's spirits in these house.
Gonna be some spirits up in here.
Spirits up in here.
Wait, why didn't it show up anything? You check out Terrified. Freak you out. I would, but I'm trying to do my thingy. Why isn't it showing you window capture? Sure. Why would Terrified freak me out? Hmm? Why would it? Mm. Oh, there it is. Sorry, this is why I was saying it was like way oversized. I have to resize it super hard. Super duper hard. Excuse me while I resize this. Just resizing it. Nice. Oh. Waiting on its own. Look at that. That looks spoopy to me. Because Terrified is gruesome? Oh, well, I mean, if it's all like. Speaking of horror, have you two ever seen the two robots of Halloween? First two came out in 2025, 2018. Second one came out first week ago. I don't think I have. But as far as like gruesome goes, like I've seen plenty of gruesome going on. What?
little bit.
Hippo.
Yeah, just
I'm sorry. So I meant to say like there's some gruesome, that's cool that there's some gruesome.
saying like maybe some. Yeah, well, I just wanted to use it.
You're not even in the picture. Let that happen. We're about to watch some real shit. Here you are. In there, I'm not. Just terrified as gruesome.
Testing 1, 2, 3. We're on.
You sent me the Halloween official trailer. Cool, but why? Had I did? Come on, let's watch something cooler than that. Come on, let's watch something cool. Ooh.
Black Lagoon.
Yeah. Eventually.
I get to see it in theaters like a year and a half ago on like real film carbonated, which was awesome.
Ready?
You feel that? You feel the vibe of Gettysburg?
It's ominous.
Took us 5 years, but we're finally here. At the Farnsworth House Inn, the most haunted inn.
Yeah.
In the
On
world.
real film it was wild. I even heard the like brrrr, like randomly like during the film. It was a good experience.
Well, let's
Also got to see
give
the
it a
Gremlins on
They
original.
murdered my family and forced me to enlist in the Union Army.
Oh, you're yes, and I'm.
You know, one thing that I could do
Improv, baby.
is make it to where the film was up here with the chat on the
This
side.
week on
I
BuzzFeed
did
Unsolved, we
first.
investigate the Farnsworth House Inn as part of our ongoing investigation into
That'd be
the
better,
legend.
or
Are
Mhm.
ghosts real?
Yeah.
It doesn't get old ever?
You know what? No, it really doesn't.
The house was used as both a sniper's den and a makeshift hospital during the Battle of Gettysburg, one of the bloodiest battles of the Civil War. Its bullet-riddled walls would have been where hundreds, if not thousands, would tragically lose their lives.
Hey, something to point out.
Point it out.
This is an episode about the Civil War.
Yes.
We're both wearing blue.
Not quite the shade. Mine's
blue,
more like
it's
a
blue,
sky
come
blue,
on.
and yours is more. You kind of look like Paddington Bear.
Little
But
Michel Gondry ass over here.
you look like you're gonna ask me for some marmalade. Those Mario Brothers. You're like the third one, Bluigi. But I see what you're saying, and to that note,
Audio on your share is very low. Thank you for letting me know.
For the most part.
Well, I'm glad I packed my mustache then.
I gotta say, the prospect of pissing off Confederate ghosts
Yeah, fuck
by
those guys.
wearing Union outfits.
Ooh, you gotta love it.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
Construction on the home began around 1810,
What's that?
and new sections were added in 1833, transforming the building into the house we know it as today. The home was later named after Brigadier General Elon John
Good,
Farnsworth,
good.
a Union soldier who died at just 25 years old during the Battle of Gettysburg.
Right off the bat, we're greeted by good old Abe Lincoln.
Konnichiwa, motherfuckers.
Oh,
You murdered my family. now you're gonna fucking die.
Were the Japanese involved in the Civil War?
No, it was like 40 Chinese dudes, but
Oh.
I assume these ghosts are all racist, so they probably think those
Oh
are the
yeah,
same
they
thing.
don't like you one bit, and they can go fuck themselves.
That's right.
Fought between July 1st and July 3rd of 1863. The Battle of Gettysburg is widely regarded as the turning point of the Civil War. Tragically, it was also among its bloodiest battles. Of the 165,000 plus soldiers who fought over those 3 brutal days, at least 46,000 were injured and over 7,000 lost their lives on the battlefield.
It's less than I thought. I mean, 7,000 people is a lot of people to die.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of 7,000 people. A lot of people. A lot of people.
Yeah, it's like, what are you getting at here?
That's a lot of people dead.
I think I have no problem saying I would have probably been a deserter, to be honest. I don't give a shit.
I would have fragged my commanding officer.
I wouldn't have
Just
fragged
rolled
him.
a grenade under his cot and been like,
I
"See
would
you
have been
later."
like, hey guys, I gotta go take a piss. And then I would climb up a tree and I would just sit up there and I would just wait. Just like, coast clear, and then I would come up, I'd throw a bunch of
He's
dirt
like, I
on
gotta take a
myself, be
piss,
like,
and he
"Oh,
just climbs a tree.
That was real scary,
you know,
huh?
headbutt a tree a couple times, get all bloody. Sarge!
During the Civil War, the home was owned by the Sweeney family, but they sought refuge elsewhere as Confederate soldiers took control of the property. The home was just over a mile away from the battlefield and possessed a tall enough structure that made the property an optimal shelter for Confederate sharpshooters, who were tasked with sniping Union soldiers as they crossed Cemetery Hill. It is believed that one of these snipers shot 20-year-old Jenny Wade as she worked in her sister's kitchen in their nearby home. She was the only civilian killed in the Battle of Gettysburg. Thankfully, Union soldiers retook the property by force on the 3rd day of battle, and by late afternoon, the Confederate Army had retreated and Gettysburg was won. As for the snipers who shot Jenny Wade, it's said their spirits haunt the attic of the building where they were posted.
So this is the attic. This is where those shitty sharpshooters were stationed. Now, I'm gonna take my hat off right now, not because of any sign of reverence. It's because my head feels like a fucking baked potato right now. If I don't take it off, my head's gonna explode. All right. That woman you killed, by the way, she had a name. Jenny Wade. If you're sitting over there, take a look at this. Jenny Wade, you shot her while she was doing dishes.
A handsome woman.
And what did you do? Killed her in cold blood in her own kitchen. I can't think of anything more disrespectful. I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was because you have the shittiest aim this side of the Mississippi, but you did kill her. Do you have anything to say about that?
There we go.
I wouldn't mind sleeping up here, honestly.
It's nice and cool.
The sound of the rain is really quite calming.
And if you're up here with those fellas, pretty sure you're not gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna leave this photograph right here, just so you can kind of take a look at it. He's right there.
If you want to, feel free to look at that photograph.
Oh boy.
At this moment, our audio recorder picked up this strange dragging noise.
Oh, I have to change. what
Could this
I'm
be the
streaming.
sound of a sniper rifle being put into position? Eyewitness accounts from the room named for the Sweeney family, who once owned the property, tell a vivid story of one soldier who may have never left. As a guest of the inn lay in bed, she heard the door to her room open and footsteps stride across the creaky wooden floor. Thinking it was her husband finally coming in from the tavern, the woman reached up to turn on the light and found no one in the room. Positive she had been dreaming, she turned off the light and went back to bed. Again, the door opened and footsteps made their way across the floor. But this time, she felt someone sit at the edge of her bed and begin to take off their heavy boots, setting them down one by one in front of the dresser. She reached up to turn on the light, and once again, the woman found herself to be quite alone in her room, with nothing but the imprint of where someone had once sat on the edge of her bed, outlined in her comforter.
Let's go to the Sweeney room now. Apparently, a psychic who visited this place would not even enter this room.
Well, they say stuff like that a lot.
That's fair. That is fair.
I mean,
Hey, could one of you ghosts sit on this bed?
I love how he's just
I'd love
wearing
to
it.
see your buns.
I mean, that's what we're here
They're
for.
both
We traveled
wearing
very far
uniforms.
from California LA, to see your beautiful buns.
There ain't nothing more in this world that I want to see right now than those man mounds.
They're like, we're going
let's
all in.
Yeah, I love how they were just like at first they're just wearing denim
Put those
jackets
two
and now they're
beautiful
just like
cakes on here.
full
Let's
union
see 'em. Get 'em
attire.
on there. Come on now.
That's not what I
They're
want to
going
see.
Like he's
all
wearing like an
in.
officer's.
You could demonstrate what the butt
like-
print might look like.
Let's get my old flat ass on there. And I'm really gonna.
Yeah, there we go. Yep. Okay. Nice and hot. Don't know about the weird motion of the ocean you're doing, but you know what? You're right. I think that's sufficient.
Okay.
Okay, an extra, a bonus. I like that. Don't you fucking dare sit. You son of a. After all that, I mean, there's kind of an ass print.
If I walked in here and saw that, I wouldn't say, now that's an ass.
No, that's weak, if anything.
Okay.
Yeah, you like,
Quite a view.
He's trying so hard.
What are you? Are you there? Did you just turn us
Oh,
out?
Chin
What's going on?
John.
Ryan!
He's trying to
This is the
trying to
scariest thing
display
that's
the
ever happened
booty
on this show.
of the
What are you
ghost.
doing right now? Ryan? Ricky?
Speak of the devil.
just kidding.
Okay. Again.
Look at
Wait,
that.
I'll
Look at the
just-
outline right there. You
No,
can see the
but-
clear outline of the
no.
ass right there, and the crack. That's a strong crack.
Yeah, it all just looks like wrinkles, though.
Is there anybody in here with us? Say my name back to me if you want to communicate. My name is Ryan. What do you want to talk about? November 23rd.
It's a hot, cool day.
It's very specific.
What did it say?
Did you hear that?
No.
I heard I'm in pain. I'm serious. I am fucking serious. Help!
I'm in pain!
No, I'm serious. It sounded. I'll rewind this fucking footage right now. Let's cut and let's fucking rewind the footage. Why are you in pain?
Are you bleeding?
What?
How to get
realize
low,
you're a
low, low,
prolific
low.
What if the voice
it say?
was just
That's
like
so.
trying to get low,
Yes, that's
low,
so.
low?
I'm
That
just
is
trying
so.
to get
You are
low, low,
Prolifically
low.
one of the biggest losers in history, if not the biggest. Well, we're gonna leave. Do you not want us to leave?
They're like, do you want us to leave? And then it's just like
You know,
apple
you're the
bottom
first person who's
jeans.
ever told me to leave when I
Who's
asked
with
that.
the
I appreciate
fur?
it. You are an asshole, but- Well, that was eventful.
That was a lot. That was a lot of the radio.
I don't know.
The Schultz family, who has owned the property since 1972, claim there are 16 spirits that currently occupy the residence.
Like,
Several
Really?
of these
16
are
spirits
that
that
of
have
fallen
boots with the
soldiers
fur.
from the Battle of Gettysburg. They believe that
19
these
spirits
spirits
with
continue to
apple-bottom
patrol
jeans.
the house, quote,
But they
as
don't
if
have
stuck
the
in
fur.
a continual loop,
The fur.
forever fulfilling
fur.
their military duties, end quote. However, one of the non-soldier spirits is a woman found in the Schultz room, named for the current owners of the home. Guests have reported the sensation of being tucked in under their covers at night. Many
What, that'd be
attribute this to the
amazing.
possible ghost of a midwife from the 1800s, who may have worked at the home while it was being used as a makeshift hospital
Wonder.
after the war.
This is the Schultz room here.
I got it. So, don't mess with EMF. Once you open the door, they will follow you to the ends of the earth. So, if you're like a believer in this, man, these guys have been all fucked up. Like, they have gotten all kinds of readings everywhere they go. And I'm pretty sure they are all messed up. There's been a few times that they're like, we need a break. Like, we've been, like, haunted as fuck. Like, something's followed us. Yeah. So, I understand what you're saying.
You know, you okay?
Yeah, I
Earl?
hit the ceiling a little
A little too much booze before the war.
Not enough booze.
Maybe.
That's the thing about this show.
Oh, very good.
You
I
like
like
that?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you son of a bitch. Hello, my name is Ryan. I'd like to be tucked in, please. Thank you.
I'm Shane. Yes, tuck me in too. I'm a sweet guy.
Please tuck me in, Mama. Pretty, please.
Please.
I can't do it. My little arms hurt too much.
Oh, he's
Baby arms can't do it myself.
Oh, his baby arms.
Notice how much the camera, if he finds something real, it can either be an
You know, just a
ethereal
couple
watch
grown men
or a
in
welcome
general
hell's
outfits,
embrace.
crying like a baby.
Yeah.
So after this,
They're
I'd like
they're
to
why-
watch
why are
something
they
that
wearing blue uniforms?
is
They should be
more
wearing gray
like
ones.
realistic.
bones on that,
Fucking
my dude.
burned them, dude. Burned them.
Why don't we turn the lights off just for 30 seconds?
Yeah, that's
and see
right.
if-
And maybe they'll tuck us in there.
And we can
see
be
what
the
happens.
judges.
Do you like that more?
Here we go.
Will you tuck us in now?
Okay, now that's
Next
good.
year we gotta stay at
Silence,
somewhere
silence.
haunted and stream.
Yes, we will. Like an all-nighter.
Yeah.
And be like, will the chatters catch something that we don't catch?
We're like, all right, we're going to sleep.
And just leave it going?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be so scary!
Yeah, oh, because, like, more than likely, I'd be the one to wake up and be like, what
Stare up at
the
all
fuck?
these
And the
things.
chatters would be like, oh my god, there's a
always forget.
person, like,
I would just be, like, shaking you,
Perhaps
and
the
you'd be
most
like,
well-known spirit
I'm
in the
asleep.
haunted
And I'm like,
house
no!
is
No,
of an
that would be
8-year-old
super
boy
scary.
named
It's like,
Jeremy.
if within
The
the
story
whole
goes
night,
that
like,
in the
we sleep the whole
1800s,
time because we
Jeremy
don't
was
know when
playing
people are
horse
chatting and they're, like,
wagon
freaking
tag
out
when he
about, like,
tripped
something
and
that's
was
in the
run
Oh,
over
room.
by
yeah.
a
Will you
passing
review it the
carriage.
next morning?
Local townspeople carried the
Oh
boy
my
inside
God.
the home.
Oh, we're
where
just
he
having
sadly
breakfast,
passed
and they're
away.
like,
What
we
is
reviewed the
now
video,
the
and they're
Sarah
like, oh
Blackwood,
god, what about that
named
shadow? And
after
we're like,
the
oh.
Oh, The
previous owner
Shining.
of the home.
We
People
could do
believe
that.
Jeremy
Yeah.
to be a very active yet benevolent ghost, mostly known for
Oh,
his
that would be
playfulness.
awesome.
Recently, one
So
guest
here
filmed
is
a
my,
little boy rolling a
uh,
marble
here's
to what
my
appeared
thing.
to be no one, only to have it roll back perfectly every time, despite no
See, so some of his stuff, I'm like, oh my god, OMG. This is one day ago. Let's see what he's got.
So as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of horror and all things spooky. And that's why I subscribe to Shudder.com, which is by far the best horror video streaming service out there. With Shudder, you get access to great Shudder original horror movies like Superhost and the awesome new found footage movie VHS 94. You also get other great Shudder original content like 3 full seasons of my all-time favorite horror anthology series, Creepshow. So
So it's
if you're
gonna be
looking for some
fake.
spooky entertainment, there are literally hundreds of great horror movies and shows
Why you gotta
available
give us
on
something
Shudder.
spooky?
And you can stream Shudder on all of
Yeah,
your favorite
but
devices.
I wasn't because he does,
But
like,
if you're a little
fake
hesitant
shit.
and maybe you're not sure, well, Shudder is
But
now
you're
offering
like-
all Nuke's Top 5 viewers a special deal to check it out. If you sign up with the code NUKE, that's N-U-K-E, you'll get an extended
No.
free 30-day trial to try Shudder and decide for yourself.
Let's do something older.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
When do you get to his old stuff? His old stuff. This is...
The top 5 black-eyed children caught on camera. Out of all the creepy urban legends and supernatural tales from the internet, some of the most frightening and bizarre may be the stories of the so-called black-eyed children, or black-eyed kids. The black-eyed children are supposedly supernatural creatures that resemble children between the ages of 6 and 16 years old, with pale skin and coal black eyes. These creatures are often said to appear on lonely roads asking for a ride, or even at the front door of a home asking to be allowed inside. It is said that allowing a black-eyed child inside a car or a house results in a horrible curse being placed on the occupants.
You know, we have a
The urban legend is not specific on exactly
legend
what
about,
the black-eyed children might be.
the highway.
Explanations
Really?
range from
But,
ghosts
yeah,
and evil
apparently there was
spirits,
supposed to be a
all the way to
headless
possessed
man
children and even demons.
and like a
They were
woman that
also
would
said to
hitchhike
inhabit
and then
solitary
disappear.
locations.
Like once you picked her up. But my dad was like, I've literally like traveled those roads like every hour of the night and I never saw it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he really wanted to. He's like, I used to tell truck drivers all the time that swore they saw it.
Eat again. Fuck!
Yeah, urban legends are always fun.
Yeah.
Such as forests or uninhabited countryside roads. These are 5 videos of people who claim to have
But all we
captured
have is
black-eyed
like
children on
random
video.
ghosts that
These stories
hitchhike.
are
You got
presented as they were
vampires in
related by
Canada.
the original video
I mean,
posters. As always, it's
Alaska.
up to you to choose what you believe. Summoning
Up
black-eyed
north,
children.
really.
The creator of the channel Fantastic Daily says that he is obsessed with finding evidence that proves the existence of so-called black-eyed children. As such, he has studied hours of alleged footage of these beings. He says that
I have
he
a lot of
believes that
friends
he
in
has found
Canada.
a
It's-
sound
it's an honest
isolated
mistake.
in lower audio frequencies that
I
can
meant
actually
Alaska.
be used to summon black-eyed
I
children.
apologize.
As an experiment, he set up his laptop camera to record overnight while continuously playing this low-frequency tone in hopes that he would actually lure a black-eyed child to his door and catch the incident on camera. On the first night, his laptop camera recorded nothing. On the second night, something activated his motion-sensitive outdoor light.
What, you're no
But
Canadian?
again,
He's like,
there was nothing on
the audio
camera.
picked up something strange, and then
three,
it's like
nothing.
crackles out, and it's like
Night
carbonated
4,
water's a
still
Canadian.
nothing appeared. But then,
You're
very late on
basically
night 5,
Canadian.
something
I
shocking
do
happened.
too. When I was touring with them, I call them the
Aww,
knockoff American.
Canadians are
Someone
fun.
appears on
They're
the
really
front
friendly.
porch, standing and staring inside the house for over an hour.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. That is crazy.
Mm-mm.
How long was it out there? Man, this is like an hour. It was out there for like over an hour.
As the strange visitor left, the investigator claims that he was awoken by the sound of movement outside and got up to check.
Hello?
Mm-mm.
Hello?
There was no one there, but the gate to the house had been left open. Eerily enough, the man lives in a secluded area, only accessible via a long unpaved road through the woods, so any visitor at any time would be uncommon. But he says that this visitor was absolutely terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
A creepy photobomb. Chinese-Canadian musician Milo LV posted a simple Instagram video of her and a friend hanging out by the pool.
Hey guys, it's super hot in Vancouver today, and me
Dot,
and Joanna
hello.
are just waiting for our friend who is super late to come today.
Also the darkness.
And if you guys see this video, take a look at
No
how
horror movie?
nice the
Yes.
drink, the cute girl, and how nice the pool is. You guys should come right now and join us, right? Right? Oh, okay, you know what? Talk to you guys later. Bye. You're very good.
Now, I don't know what she was babbling about there, but after watching the video, her fans flooded her comment section claiming that they saw something creepy in the background of the video.
If you
What?
guys see this video, take a look at how nice.
Mm.
Some claimed it was a black-eyed kid watching
Looks
them from the
alien.
opposite
Oh,
side of
no.
the pool.
Barely
Whatever
anything.
it is,
No,
the figure
that looks-
mysteriously disappears by the
Like
time
a
the camera
couple of,
pans
like-
back to where it was standing. As for Milo
Couple of,
LV, she says,
free
quote, "Once I saw it, I was
leaves?
terrified. When I think about it now, I still feel a little creeped out."
You know what? Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Maybe he was
Something in
like
the
still
road.
there during the entire video.
For number
or
3, we
something.
again go back to the YouTube channel Fantastic Daily, whose creator, a self-proclaimed black-eyed kid investigator, had a strange recorded encounter on his front porch. This next footage took place a week after the first video. The investigator said that after being more than a little freaked out by his first recording,
What is that
he had
called?
stopped playing the audio tone that he had used in hopes of attracting the
phobia?
black-eyed kids to his home.
Or something like
But
that?
it might have been
It's
a
the
little too late.
recognition and fear of seeing
One night,
faces
as he
in
was driving
random
along the
shapes.
secluded trail that
That's
leads to his
interesting.
home, he thought
I'm not
he
sure
saw
what it's
someone
called,
walk
but
across
yeah,
the
like,
road in front
I
of his
mean,
car.
seeing like, because it
So,
looked
he
like
stopped
the
vehicle and
trees just
started
kind of had a
filming with his
face.
cell phone.
But this looked strange.
This?
Well, it looked like there was a person on their porch.
Unfortunately,
Like
he
this?
didn't really catch anything on camera. At least that's
Like
what
the
he
porch.
thought.
Well, no, I'm talking about the
After
first
returning
video.
to
This
his
is the
home, he
second one.
decided to check through the footage recorded on his phone. What he found chilled him to the core. Although it's hard to tell in the dark, it looks like someone walking along beside the road, hidden in the dark brush, and unnoticed as the man films.
I didn't see this when I was walking around out there. I mean, there's a
And-
noise that you can hear in the video coming from that direction, but I definitely didn't see anything.
The first video was more convincing. It was actually a house. There was somebody
So
on
is
the
this
porch.
one of the
but
black-eyed
that-
children? Is it just someone out for a bizarre night stroll in the dark woods? Or
They're just
is it
standing
all
there.
just a hoax?
They're not
Because
strolling.
of the sheer
No,
volume
I'm
of
not
material
buying that
on
one.
Black-Eyed
No.
Kids on the Fantastic Daily channel, some believe it to be a hoax. Personally, I would recommend that you check it out for yourself and see what you think. The link to the channel
It's
is in the video
interesting that it's a
description.
phobia
Trail cam
to
kids. As I mentioned in the beginning of this
understand
video, black-eyed children are believed
the
to inhabit
opposite of a
unpopulated
phobia.
areas like lonesome roads and dense forests. So it's no surprise that many people have claimed to capture black-eyed kids on trail cams located deep in the woods. The cameras are set up to trigger and snap photos when there is any
one
movement.
thing that I'm a
They're
big
usually
fan
used to
of
track
is
wildlife in remote wooded areas.
watching people that
In this
do
particular
like
shot,
the
posted
demon
online, the trail
challenges or
cam seems to
whatever,
have spotted 2 deer.
where
they
it's
were
like
not
they go
alone.
down a
What looks to be a small
really,
girl
like,
in a white
super
gown can be
duper,
seen
like,
in the
rural
photo.
road or
Many
whatever,
believe this photo to
and
be
they
a
like
black-eyed
film
child captured on camera.
like outside their car,
This is not
but they
the only
cannot go
time that a
above
trail
like 10
camera has
miles per
allegedly
hour.
captured a
that
black-eyed
entire
child
road.
roaming alone through the
You can
woods.
do that.
I don't think it counts if you have a pedestrian with you.
Oh, you have to be by yourself.
You cannot have your radio on. You cannot have your AC on.
Black-eyed children.
There's like
UK.
nothing going on
The
around
black-eyed
you.
child phenomenon is not only relegated to North America. There have been multiple sightings in England as well. In Yorkshire, England, we find another account of a black-eyed child. A woman named
What's it
Hannah
called?
Butler took a picture of what she believes to be a
Could be
black-eyed
wrong.
girl
That's
in
probably not what
Hesselforshire
the name
Woods.
of it.
Hannah snapped this picture back in 2013.
We have Google. Yeah, now
But she
I'm
claims
hungry.
that to this
I wish
day,
it was time for
she
me
still
to
has
eat. But
terrible
it's gonna be another
nightmares
hour.
where she is haunted by the black-eyed girl in the picture.
Ooh, goodness.
In the end, reports of the black-eyed children have been around since the early 90s and will
Pareidolia
probably
is a
continue for
psychological
many years to
phenomenon that
come.
causes people to see
So,
patterns in a
do you
random
believe in the
stimulus.
mysterious black-eyed children? And if so, what do you believe they are? Ghosts, spirits, demons, or something else entirely? Or do you
Aversion
think
to
that
the
all of
sight
the
of
reports are
irregular
either
patterns or
hoaxes or
clusters
simply the
of small
figment of
holes or
overactive
bumps?
imaginations? Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button and be sure to click the
Google, I'm not
notification
giving
icon so
my
that you're
data
always
to
notified when a new
The
video is posted.
CCP. And I can help
You were
it.
close though.
Wrong with the name? What do you think about Nuke's Top 5? okay, the things that dogs see, oh my god, I get that 100%. Like,
When we stay in a
their
place, we
owners
have to
couldn't
take
see.
Hippo with us.
Something's in the kitchen.
no, if
Kenny
Hippo
Brown put out
sees
food for his
something,
dog Lola on the kitchen floor.
Because that would
just like
that
he did
would
every night.
prove it.
But this particular night, Lola was absolutely terrified of something in the kitchen, something that Kenny couldn't see.
Something really weird is happening.
no, the shit that dogs can see is fucking there.
She wants to eat. Her food bowl is in there. She's too paranoid to go in there.
That chair's gonna.
In the video, Lola can be seen approaching the doorway of the kitchen several times, but afraid to enter. Kenny is amused by the whole incident and even goes over to film inside the kitchen to show that there is absolutely nothing strange inside.
And then when I go in the kitchen, there's nothing there. So, what's the matter with the dog?
At one point, the dog just seems to give up on her dinner, unwilling to face whatever is in the kitchen. She simply lays in her bed.
You're not hungry? Is the ghost in this house freaking you out? See what you're looking at? You're afraid to look over there. That's weird.
Eventually, Lola builds up
Listen
the
to what
nerve
he
to quickly grab
says.
a bite of her food.
They're pretty good around the house.
But she
So,
then
do you
backs
have a
out as
dog?
if frightened by something approaching her.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Mm-mm.
Eventually, Kenny concludes that the dog is just weird.
No. That dog does not like something.
Oh, we have the weirdest dog in the world.
Keeping in mind that dogs can see ultraviolet light well beyond human vision, you have to wonder what Lola was so scared of in that kitchen. Tuning in. A YouTube user claimed that strange things were taking place in his home. He would hear odd sounds, bumps, and thuds at all hours of the day and night. Even more disturbing, he would often come home to find his attic door open and his two dogs acting strangely, both of them scared and avoiding certain rooms in the house. He decided to set up a camera to record his attic door for a few hours while he was out. He left an easy listening radio station playing in hopes that the music would soothe his two dogs while he was away. It didn't work.
Which brought home a Grammy earlier this year.
Like that.
And demons are assholes.
What are
They could teleport, but they choose to open the door and scare dogs. Like,
And closed doors. Why?
because they're assholes and they're not good at shutting doors. They're just derpy too. Like,
No, he was pretty good. He like successfully did it though.
I like to think the demon's like, yeah, I'm gonna scare the fuck out of that. Fuck! like accidentally like doesn't get it all the way shut.
Imagine how terrifying it'll be for these dogs. It was all blurry.
It'd be funny if like the demon like tried to shut the door and then tripped. they're like, ooh, fuck.
That's probably what happened.
Like,
'cause
ow!
he opened it halfway and he's like, oh god! And he opened it the rest of the way.
He just looks around and
He was embarrassed, so he shut it.
he goes back up to the attic. He's like, I'm gonna go eat some pretzels.
Oh, Scott's metaphysical. Surprised that demons are entitled to that feed off of fear? Oh, so having dogs at home probably makes it worse. Because they're probably super fearful. Where like me on the couch, I'd be like, man, there must be a gust in here.
Aw, 130-pound Saint Bernard. Oh, oh, you big old chunky dog.
Dude, you're gonna be so haunted.
The video uploader says
By
that when he returned
Beethoven.
home, he found a picture that had fallen off the wall in another room, and his two dogs were once again acting very nervous.
What is it?
Dog compass. Scientific studies have shown that dogs can actually sense the Earth's magnetic field and use it to determine north, south, east, and west. This ability, called magnetoreception, is nothing new. It's the same sense that homing pigeons use to find their way home over long distances, but it wasn't known until recently that dogs also have this ability. However, dogs use this talent for a very different, very bizarre reason.
The dogs are very precisely orientated on the north-south axis while pooping, but only if the magnetic field is stable.
A 2-year study showed that dogs almost always choose to pee or poop when facing in a north or south orientation.
Really?
They actually avoid urinating or defecating while standing in an east or west stance, as long as the Earth's magnetic field is calm and stable. This strange preference doesn't change with the position of the sun, the time of day, or from season to season. Dogs just always prefer to do their business while facing north or south, and no one knows why. Bossy, the ghost hunting dog. A woman in Brisbane, Australia claims that her home is haunted by a ghost that regularly causes strange noises and light orbs around her home. Perhaps even more shocking, she claims that her dog Bossy is tuned into the ghost and can detect its movements around the home. She says that Bossy is normally a very quiet and sedate dog.
That's hardcore.
When there's spiritual activity in the home,
Consecrated land?
Bossy becomes very
Chlorinated water's a
disturbed,
paladin?
growling and barking at something they
Consecration?
can't see.
Yeah,
The
basically.
woman installed a CCTV camera in her bedroom to capture Bossy's reaction on camera. In this first clip, we see what some ghost hunters would call orbs appearing in the camera frame. Then, Bossy suddenly wakes from a deep sleep.
You get it? No.
I don't even know how that's in here.
No,
It's like
right?
chilly.
She excitedly starts to growl and bark, waking her
Oh
owner.
yeah, I remember. They did mention that they were.
Another night, and ghostly orbs appear in the camera frame again. Once again, Bossy wakes and begins to growl and bark, but this time at the bedroom closet.
See, that's so consequential.
So, is
like,
Bossy actually seeing something, or is she just a hyperactive puppy with sleep issues? Let me know what you think down in the comments.
that
Welcome
one was
home.
probably the most.
Back in 1994, Pam
reasonable
Smart's dog
one.
JT would stay with her parents next door
So
while
what does
Pam
the
was
pup
away.
see?
Her
I'm
parents
pretty
soon
sure
began to
that
notice
that
that
one
shortly before Pam
saw
would return
something.
home, JT would go and stand at the window as if waiting for her to arrive.
That last one.
They noticed that he seemed to know when I was coming home. This happened whether it was in the morning or in the evening. It didn't seem to matter when I came home or how I came home. He always seemed to know.
Biologist Dr. Rupert Sheldrake asked Pam and her family for permission to set up a series of scientific
My dad
tests
had a
to
weird
determine whether
story
JT actually
whenever,
did somehow know
he was a
when Pam
kid.
was returning home.
He said he used to go
It
to
couldn't have
his
been
grandma's
routine.
house,
It
and they
couldn't
had
have
a
been
guy
hearing.
that
So-
killed himself, like that stayed with them, and like they just basically like didn't use that bedroom. Like the person stayed there because it was like back in the day when people
Because
were
that's
just
where he
bored.
killed himself at?
Yeah,
Or
but like
something?
yeah, but my dad said like the room was always cold. Like it was extremely cold. Like it could be like 90 degrees during like the summer and like the rest of that because there was no central heating or air or anything.
Yeah.
But you could go in that room and it would be cold. And he said you would hear like footsteps like under the door or like you would see stuff under the door.
Nice. I'd be like, I'm gonna buy that house and stay in there 24/7 and freeze to death and
You
just be haunted
You
as
wanna know
fuck.
something hilarious? You know what his grandma's name was? My great grandma. You know what her nickname was?
What? Snooky.
Yeah, my grandpa. My great grandma's nickname was Snook, and my great grandpa's name was Chunk.
Chunk.
Yeah, his name was Charlie. And they called him Chunk. And then, but it was really hilarious because whenever he told, he's like, "Yeah, it was Snook. It was short for Snooky," and I was like, "That's hilarious."
Yikes. Yikes.
But yeah, he told me about that whenever I was a kid, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird."
Yeah.
Rupert Sheldrake believed that because we'd ruled all these things out, that we were left then with JT picking up my thoughts and using some form of telepathy.
And or flying through and thing shout at me. Something spontaneously combust.
What did you have shout at you?
Wait, I'm sure it's not at your current residence, right? Hopefully. Hopefully not.
The idea of some sort of telepathy or psychic connection between dogs and humans seemed like a pretty far-fetched idea. But the
No,
test
but
seemed
dogs
to confirm
fucking
it.
know.
In this test, 2 cameras were synced to the same time code. One camera was set up to monitor JT, and one camera followed Pam Smart. Neither Pam, the cameraman, nor anyone around JT knew when Pam would be returning home. But watch what happens at the exact time when Pam is told that they will be returning to the house.
I noticed there was a taxi right there, so could knock on the
Okay.
door there. Yeah?
Okay, let's go.
So, right, go and get a taxi.
Yeah.
Hmm.
JT heads straight for the window to await Pam's return. To make things even
That's
more
a good
difficult
dog.
for little JT, Pam and her friend are told to return via a taxi, even though they left the house on foot. But the dog can't be fooled. He sits in the window waiting until Pam's taxi pulls up in front.
It's a good dog.
I have no idea. There was no one in the house.
After over 100
Sounded
tests,
like they
JT
were
was
right in my
90%
ear
accurate
when
in
they
predicting
shouted.
when
I
Pam
felt the
Smart was
reverb and
returning
everything.
home. The same
Nope, not
experiment
on
has
my
been conducted
compound. The
many
slam
times with many different
is clean
dogs
as far
and
as I
almost
know,
always has
as
the
long
same
as I
result.
keep up.
So,
Nice.
are dogs psychically connected with their owners? Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications so you'll always get a notice whenever a new video is posted. As always,
No, I mean, just
thanks for
trust
watching.
your animals. Like, long story short, trust your little boo-boos, because they know better. They know better than you do, ever.
How weird is this for you right now?
Claire would randomly.
Pretty weird,
not-
yeah.
Maybe it's about to get a whole lot weirder.
Oh,
Want
God.
to know Chloe Lane?
Like I would be like laying on the couch, and she would just be like laying like on my lap.
This week on BuzzFeed
And then she would
Unsolved,
randomly
once
like
again
look
making a house
around and
call
like
as part of
meow.
our ongoing
Yeah.
And like get up
into
and
the
stuff.
question,
But I mean,
are ghosts real? Oh, no voice this time? This time around, we answer the call of Loie Lane, a popular beauty guru who you may recognize from YouTube. Loie has asked us to help diagnose a haunting that's terrorized her since 2017. A haunting
Yeah.
that has her scared. to
all
sleep.
animals seem to be able to
From guru to
pick up on it.
boo.
Oh, yeah.
That is you really out.
So do you guys like this,
outdone
or do you
yourself this
like
time.
Nuke's top 5?
I know when we did our last house call, I sort of took a back seat. I was very respectful.
These guys have more like comedy relief.
I'm sure she believes
Nuke's Top
that
5
she
has
saw
more like
a little
actual
squeaky
like
guy in a
fucking
sheet.
I think I
cool
should just get
egos
a
where you're
life-size
like,
chain doll with a pull
I
string.
think
Dude,
that
might
this
as well.
is real,
It's
or I
the
think
way-
that this
I'm
is
sure
not
they believe
real.
They saw what they saw, and I'll just keep pulling the
I
string.
believe you believe. I believe you believe.
You're just staring at the corner of the wall. I believe you believe.
Let's get into it.
In April 2017, Loie Lane moved into an apartment complex in Los Angeles, California. The complex,
love
a fairly
her.
new and nondescript building, doesn't seem to offer any explanation from the outside as
You're
to why
more at the
strange
top
and
5.
unexplainable
It's
things
a
occur within.
wider net
But before
of
we jump
horror.
into what's happening in
Yes,
the present,
me
let's first take
too.
a look at the past.
Thank you for saying that.
I definitely am a believer who wishes occasionally that I was a skeptic, and I think it's because I grew up with it. I told you a little bit that I grew up in a really haunted farmhouse in the middle of nowhere in Georgia, so it's been like my whole life of experiencing stuff, some not so nice, some perfectly normal, I guess.
Let's do top 5 scary. Sure.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Anyway,
I've
so
seen the
I'm a huge
Annabelle
fan-
series. It's pretty strange.
No, but I want it to be like
So as
IRL
you guys know,
stuff.
I'm a huge fan of horror and all things spooky. And
Top 10. Kanji Bug Eye.
Top 5 ghosts.
Annabelle
caught
series.
on
Yeah.
camera. Caught
Hey, cool.
on CCTV. Facebook user Carly Tritzler shared a very bizarre video that was recorded by her CCTV camera outside her home in Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania. In the video, a deer can be seen walking through her yard. But that's not all.
There's the deer.
Oh.
Oh.
Bizarrely, a tiny dark little figure seems to be following the deer in the dark of night.
Aw.
Now,
Oh,
I
look,
have
it's a little
no
bunny
idea what this
rabbit.
little thing could be. Even after brightening the footage, it
It's just a
doesn't
tiny
appear to be
derpy
any kind
ghost.
of pet or wild animal.
He's like,
And
I
whatever
love
it is,
deers.
It almost
I
looks
love
like it's
them.
walking on two legs.
Look at him, he's
For
just
now,
looking
the
at
mysterious
it.
footage remains
Oh,
unsolved.
booking it?
But I'm very curious
Yes,
to hear
he's
what
a
you
different,
guys
like,
think this little thing
a different
could be.
color for sure.
A Nuke's Top 5 viewer who wishes to remain anonymous, let's just call him or her Alex for the sake of the video, emailed me
Raccoon,
about a
like the
CCTV
walk on
recording
2
captured
legs?
at an undisclosed
Oh,
sleep
and they
lab
like to be
during a
friends.
sleep apnea test.
They can also like break
Alex
into
says
trash
that a
cans,
coworker
like
was
even if
monitoring
you
a
use
widowed
zip tie,
female
like they can.
patient's sleep.
Oh, they're in
And
there.
then
They're a cat
this
like
happened.
hands, or they're a cat with hands.
Start recording. Oh my god.
Wait, what?
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yes. It's gone now.
Now, to get a better understanding of what is going on, a bit of explanation is necessary. So the squiggly lines that can be seen at the bottom of the screen indicate that the woman has stopped breathing during her sleep. The mysterious pale figure then appears to reach out to wake the woman, after which she begins to breathe again. Alex believes the apparition might have been the patient's deceased husband, still carefully watching over her from beyond the grave.
No, that's a
But
baby.
what do you think this strange pale shape could be? Let me know
A
down in the
child.
comments.
Let me just start recording. Oh my god. I see it walking around. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Oh, that's a baby. Oh.
It's gone now.
The end of the road. Popular Guatemalan news reporter Vivian Vasquez is driving in traffic on her way to work to report the early morning news. But she will never make it to the news station.
Cool.
Because Vivian herself becomes the tragic subject of the morning news when her lifeless body is discovered in a horrible car accident. Her family, co-workers, and fans are shocked and saddened when they hear of her sudden, tragic passing. Guatemalan traffic police show up on the scene and record footage of the wreckage as evidence. But after the video is released to the public, mourning viewers and fans all hear something in the footage that is
Good luck.
absolutely
Have a
chilling.
nice trip when you get back.
Dun dun dun. On Halloween
And
too.
this time, did you hear it? The anguished
want to
voice
go
of a
dream.
woman can be heard crying out in Spanish, "What did you do to me?" When watching the footage, it becomes clear that it makes no sense for anyone present at the site of the accident to be screaming, "What did you do to me?" Vivian's loyal fans believe that it was her anguished spirit crying out from beyond the grave. To this day, the Guatemalan authorities have not found the cause of Vivian's accident. Even stranger, Vivian's cell phone was never returned to her family, and no one knows why. So just what happened to Vivian Vasquez? And what are your thoughts on this bizarre and tragic recording? Let me know down below. The Lurker in the Woods.
So this is vlog 1 today, my first vlog ever, woohoo!
Travel vlogger Mihaela from the YouTube channel Mihaela Claudia P records a road trip through her home country of Romania and makes a stop at one of the most haunted forests in the world, the Hoia Baciu Forest in Transylvania. Local legends tell the story of a girl who disappeared in the woods only to reappear 5 years later with no recollection of what happened to her. Another story is that of a shepherd who, along with his sheep, completely vanished in the woods, never to be seen again. Mihaela arrives at the forest at nightfall and is all alone as she nervously makes her way through the woods. Everywhere she goes, she finds the skeletal remains of animals, but it's something else that she should be much more worried about.
Okay.
Mihaela might not be as alone
Thank
in the
you.
woods as she
Thank
thinks.
You're welcome.
Yes, I am that crazy to walk alone in the so-called most haunted forest
They're
in
older
the
stuff.
world.
It gets real bad.
And I'm very scared of wild animals. I have to admit I'm terrified and I do not know where the exit is. Basically they told me that the legend says that a shepherd went into the forest with the sheep and he never came out. That's the actual legend, and that's why this forest has this fame of the most haunted, because he went in and he never came back. And yes, you saw the footage with the sheep that's dead. That's a skull, a sheep skull that you saw. And if you don't believe me, you can check yourself the legend. What the hell is that? Sure, I can hear something. Honestly, I'm terrible. What the hell is going on? Okay.
Mihaela begins to hear the disturbing sound of footsteps in the leaves. Someone or something is coming closer and closer. She makes a run for it and makes it safely back to her car.
That was a freaky
But
walk.
did you see
Yes,
it?
sir.
Because not long before Mihaela records the rustling sounds of someone moving through the woods,
No,
a
once
dark
I heard that,
figure
I'd be
appears
like,
to be lurking around in the trees behind her, just watching. The vlogger says she never saw anyone and has no idea who or what this creepy lurker could be. So are the stories true? Is the Hoyabachu forest in Transylvania really haunted? Or is this just some random creep stalking Mihaela through the dark, abandoned
If any
woods?
place was gonna be haunted, I
You
would assume it'd
decide.
be a forest in
You can find this
Transylvania.
video and more over on
yeah.
the YouTube channel Mihaela Claudia P. The Forbidden Room. Popular Japanese paranormal YouTube channel Omagatoki Film received a horrifying video from a woman who wishes to remain anonymous. They refer to her only under the alias Nakayama. Nakayama claims that her grandmother had a very strange but strict rule for anyone visiting her home. Never go upstairs. Nakayama claims that she has heard creepy sounds coming from the second floor and once saw a shadow figure quickly passing through the hallway at the top of the stairs. After the creepy experience, Nakayama was told the sad story of her grandmother's sister. Almost 40 years ago, the sister was living upstairs on the second floor. She was happily engaged to be married. However, the engagement was broken off by her fiancé right before the wedding.
Speaking of
Soon
just
after,
Oh,
the
the
heartbroken
suicide
woman went
forest,
missing
yeah.
and was never seen again. Her
I wanna
room
go
on the
there
second floor
someday.
has been locked
You
and
should
off
do it.
limits
That'd
ever
be
since.
awesome.
Nakayama is now a grown woman, and her grandmother has since passed away. As the last living relative, she now owns the property and is considering selling it. One evening, she goes to her grandmother's house. Gathering her courage, she records a video as for the first time ever, she goes up to the second floor and approaches the locked door of the forbidden room. That's when things take a truly terrifying turn.
I need a bigger flashlight. I need all the light. Mm-mm. Not today. Oh, I hate that.
The eyes of someone or something can be seen peeking out through the crack of the locked door. When paranormal investigators Hiro, Tomo, and cameraman T see the video, they are shocked. They decide to visit the creepy allegedly haunted house to investigate. With Nakayama's permission, they take the lock off
looks
the
like that
door
creature from
upstairs
Scary
and go
Stories Still
inside
in
the
the Dark.
mysterious
Yes.
forbidden room. The room
Yes.
inside appears to be rotting, and the team finds old photos of a woman wearing a kimono. They also find some very strange objects, including a doll, a covered mirror, and a traditional Japanese dress hanging from a cupboard. The Omagatoki team begins to get a strange, unsettling feeling that something is very off about this room.
怖いねこの部屋。空気はやばい感じがするよね。なんかこの部屋はちょっとおかしいぞ。おかしいおかしいよ。でもこんなさ、こんな写真撮るまで話が進んでて破談した。まあそういうことをその話を信じるならね。ちょっとなさんにさ、もうちょっと詳しく聞いた方がよくないか。これちょっと異様だって。おかしすぎるって。おかしい。普通じゃないもんだって。普通じゃない。この写真ってさ、あれでしょ？結婚式のナイスドレスでしょ。今顔が来そう。今ちょっとちらっとこっち見方いやちょっと待ってわかる。やばいってやばいって。こう今顔が来そう。
Oh.
That's not good.
The face of a woman in one of the creepy old photos appears to move to look back at the team. The three friends are getting more and more freaked out, but they try to stay calm for the sake of their investigation. But things are about to get even scarier.
なんでどうしまった？なんでしまった今？開いてたよね。開いてた。開いてたよ。開いてた。開けて。誰かいるの？でもいないでしょ。いやいないよ。いるわけない。いないいない。
The door to the hallway suddenly slams shut even though no one is there. The Omagatoki team is a bit freaked out and feel that they should probably end their investigation very soon. But what happens next is downright chilling.
いや人影を見て俺今。あ、すいません。あ、誰かいます？ちょっと開けますよ。
Ew. What?
びっくりした。どうされたんですか？あ、そうですか。びっくりした。お一人ですか？あ、中を見に来られたんですか？いや全然。まあもしあれだったら全然。見てもらって。いやまあ別に。いいですか？あ、いいですよ全然。これは使ってあったみたいな感じですね。もう本当にさんもう初めてなんですよねここ。で、さんは初めてですよね入られたのって。皆さん大丈夫ですか？なんかちょっと体調悪そうですけど大丈夫です？様子が。
やっぱりおばあちゃんのせいだったんですよ。
お、そう。なんで？これちょっと、皆さんちょっともう行こう。
I wouldn't like that at all.
もう一回出よう。いいからもう行こう。今おかしいですよ。おかしいよ。あれ何？やばくね？
The three friends are baffled and shocked. They have no idea why Nakayama is suddenly acting so bizarre. The guys decide to leave, but they don't feel right about leaving Nakayama alone in the house. So they return to the home. But when they go back inside, they discover that Nakayama has disappeared. After a little discussion, Investigator Tomo feels confident enough to do a solo investigation inside the forbidden room all alone. Hiro and cameraman T wait downstairs as Tomo stays behind with nothing but a camera. It did not go well.
今隣に大きいタンスがあるんですけど、その中に誰かいる。さっきからなんかボソボソ喋る声とすっごい視線をね感じる。今隣のタンスに誰かいる。この隙間から誰か覗いてる。
No, 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 no.
A horrified Tomo begins to see movement inside a nearby cupboard and calls for his friends. Hiro and cameraman T hurry upstairs, and together they open the door, but no one inside. The Omagatoki team has finally just had enough, and they get
Yeah,
out
I've
of
seen
there.
Shutter carbonated.
After this investigation, the team says that they have made multiple
Shudder was
attempts
a
to
weird
reach out to
movie.
the woman, Nakayama, but they haven't
actually
heard from her
not.
since. So just what is going on inside
Yeah.
this creepy house,
Is it
in
bad?
this creepy forbidden room?
Okay.
You decide.
Not as bad as this
You
shit.
can watch this full 2-part series with English subtitles over on the YouTube channel, Omagatoki Film.
You know who they need to call?
Ghostbuster?
Koenma.
Koenma. Yeah.
Yeah. Get a spirit detective on
Meanwhile,
it?
Yeah.
on TikTok. TikTok user Ashley Rain has only ever posted videos of her family and all of their cute cats. But this next video is completely different from
She's like,
anything
"But
she
this
has
time,
ever
she's about
posted
to show
before.
some ghosts."
Ashley claims that late one night their motion activated security camera caught something truly bizarre.
I don't like that. What is it? Mm-mm.
One of Ashley's cats seems to be staring at a bizarre translucent apparition with glowing eyes that appears to be staring right back at the cat. At first glance, it just looks like the cat's owner playing peekaboo. But then the pale figure suddenly just floats up toward the ceiling before vanishing into thin air.
See,
Curious
animals
TikTok
can see some
commenters believe
shit.
Ashley's cat might have been trying to protect the home from an unwanted dark entity. Ashley says that the family has since moved to a new home and is happy to be out
Cat's like, "What are
of
you
their
doing?
old
What
house
are you doing
for
in this
good."
house?
Yeah.
But is it
I'm
real,
looking at you.
or
He's like,
is
I've
it
been around
all
since
just an
ancient
elaborate
Egypt. He's like,
hoax?
I've been drinking green tea all
You
goddamn
decide.
day. He's like, you gonna bring the demons out of me? Like, he's like, I got to church
Simon
every
Lockhart
goddamn
is a security guard
Sunday.
at a hotel in downtown Providence, Rhode Island. Simon sent me an email in which he says that a few months ago, a man tragically lost his life at the hotel. He says that ever since, he has been experiencing strange supernatural events during his security shifts. As the paranormal activity intensified, Simon began to record evidence and post it to TikTok.
So I'm in the bathroom right now. I'm not going to the bathroom if you're wondering. But I'm hearing like shuffling sounds outside the door. And I need to put the camera. Bro, what the was that? No.
Then, only 2 weeks later, this happens.
I swear to God, I heard like a woman talking in here. I swear to God, I heard a woman talking. What the fuck? Oh, no. No, I'm not doing that.
But before long, the loud bangs and unexplained voices turn into something much more sinister.
Hello? Oh my God, what the f? Bro.
It'd be funny if you just
No,
went and tried
no,
to
no,
push
no,
it, and
no.
then you just
Simon
heard
records
like
as something that he
crashing,
can't
and it's
see
just like
seems to
fuck.
charge up the staircase right at him. But did you see it? Simon's concerned TikTok viewers point out something that he missed in his original
You told me
video.
some, like, scary
Something
fucking
downright
stories.
chilling.
My mama.
Watch
growing up.
again.
She was Native American, and she like.
Oh my God, what the?
Was really into
What
like.
the?
stuff.
Bro.
It looks as if a face can be seen watching him through the window of a door on the 8th floor. The security guard says that there was no one around and he didn't see anyone at the window at the time. He only noticed it after TikTok viewers pointed it out. Over the course of several months, Simon continues to record everything he experiences.
About, like, they
Then
used to
late
sit up
one
with the
night,
dead.
the security guard is sent out to the
At,
hotel's
funerals that they
restaurant
would have
after
people at
reports
their
of some
house.
very
She said there
unusual
was some
activity.
guy who like
It
died,
really
and they were
did
like
not
all sitting up.
go well.
She was a little girl, and she said
I'm
there was
over
like,
at the
something like
restaurant right
scratching
now
on the
that's
windows
connected
and
to our hotel.
like trying to get in the house.
The door's been wide
Like they saw
open.
like shadows moving around.
And they said they've seen lights going on and off in here.
See, it's like bad.
Huh?
The memory of like scratching around or
I don't know what she said. She said that like he was like they had his body there at the house, and she was a little girl, and she remembers being like a kid, and she remembers everybody being really frightened. Which waiting up with the dead is frightening anyway. But like it was just like she said she heard like scratching and like banging on the doors, and it was weird. So that was one of the things. But I mean,
Yeah.
she was extremely.
dead bodies do some weird shit.
Yeah.
You never know.
No.
Zionic area. Very, very narrow stairs, and I just smashed my head on this freaking pipe. Hello? Oh my God.
I heard yeah.
It's like, yeah.
That's it. I didn't hear get out, I heard yeah.
It'd be hilarious if a ghost was just like, yeah.
There's
Just
no one
charges
here.
up the
There's no one
stairs.
here.
Yeah, but who's like charging into that?
Nope. Okay, I'm out. Okay, just leave me alone.
The
What if it
nervous
was like,
security
get
guard
out?
hears
He's like,
someone
no.
say
No,
the
but
words,
listen.
"Get out," and soon after feels something or someone pull at his shirt. In a panic, Simon tries to descend the steep staircase as fast as he can, but he actually slips and breaks his ankle. As always, whether it's all real or not, I leave it to you to decide. But either way, best wishes to Simon for his speedy recovery, and you can follow his story over on his TikTok page. It's Simon. Thanks for watching. Check out some weird stuff and extra clips over on my Instagram and on my Twitter. And then there's a TikTok too. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you next week.
Thanks, fucking. I do have to eat again.
Hello everyone, Arya here, and I hope that you are having a fantastic week so far. Regardless of how your week is going though, it's about to get a lot better, because you and I, we're going to spend some quality time together, cuddled up, watching a scary movie. For today's video, we will be watching a movie from the 90s that was aired on the BBC and subsequently banned after not just numerous complaints, but reports of viewers suffering PTSD and even a death. I am very excited because today's video is a confluence of two of my favorite things: horror movies and terrible things happening in the real world. And before you judge me, let's be honest, we're all here on this channel because we are equally fascinated by the, at times, horrifying, wild, and terrible things that can sometimes happen out in the real world. Also, since we can't show the full movie in this video, and I have to stop and give commentary along the way as well for copyright reasons, I will be hosting a live watch-along of the entire film this coming Thursday on my own personal YouTube channel, which is where I am now officially hosting live streams every week after I release a video here on the Unsolved Network. So come hang out, chit-chat, watch the movie, and we'll break down more about this spooky story. And speaking of spooky stories, let's break down exactly what happened when this program originally aired. Halloween
Why
night
don't we start
1992
over?
saw the premiere of a new television program on BBC known simply as Ghost Watch. Around 11 million people tuned into the program, which was billed as a
want
drama,
you to play
but
just the
filmed in the style of
movie.
a documentary, a purportedly live
Oh,
investigation
movie?
of paranormal activity at the home belonging to the fictional Early family in northwest London, which was presented as the most haunted house in Britain. Essentially, the program was a fictional ghost story presented as a real investigation to many
Maybe they're talking about the.
Throughout the show, presenters followed the ghost activity around the home, while the Early family faced increasingly scary ghostly encounters, all building towards a terrifying climax. While the crew of the program celebrated with drinks during the airing of Ghost Watch, many viewers, especially children, were left traumatized by the show. According to Stephen Volk, a horror writer and creator of Ghost Watch, the program's producer, Ruth Baumgarten, arrived at the party with a white face, saying the switchboard was jammed at BBC during the airing.
Oh.
She said that many callers were very irate. Over 20,000 people attempted to call in during the program, many of them being
A big good F.
Brownie bar?
Yeah. It's really good. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I can honestly say if that ever happens to us, like I will flip shit. Like I'd be like, what?
I would grab it and be like, no,
Yeah.
you wrong bitch.
Our first question would be like, did either of us do it? And then after that, we're gonna be like, shit. Please no.
My first question would be like, are you that stupid to wake me?
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, I'm over here and it's being pulled this way. Like, why did I get up in the middle of the night and pull it this way? Ooh. No.
Mm-mm.
No, not in this cigar.
Mm-mm.
เจน
ท่านหายไปไหนมาทำไมทิ้งเราไว้คนเดียว
ไปก่อนนะเจน
ไอ้เหี้ยมึงทิ้งกูไว้ทำไมมึงไม่รักกูแล้วใช่ไหมมึงจะทิ้งกูไว้ไหนมึงจะทิ้งกูไว้ไหน
Oh, nice.
Grab the side of it and just
Just like shake it loose.
no, just slide. Like you just start shaking it and she just falls. Got him. Ghosts are notorious for not having good balance.
No, but what you're saying is like pretty much any other video game. Just
Yeah.
grab the sides and just
You
scale
just-
down.
Yeah. Dark Souls the shit out of that. Yeah, that is pretty.
I mean, like, I love the scenes. I love the scenes, like, with,
Asian
like,
horror is cool.
like, with Quarantine. Like, where you're thinking, like, how would I get out of this?
Yeah.
Hear it, but cannot
I like
tell
the
where it comes
uncanny
from.
valley. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like the whole reason that that chick was like so frightening is because it's like, oh, it's a humanoid form, but it's moving in a way that you're like, nope.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But you're like, nope.
Nope. Yeah. It's like The Grudge. When that chick comes down the stairs, it's like you're just like, what? No.
But why? Oh, he was gonna let her outside the car. It was so sweet.
Where are the keys?
Babe, remember I have them.
Just because you wouldn't let me drive doesn't mean you can't open the door.
I'm gonna finish.
Promise me there's no ghost chick on your ceiling, right? Walking around. And he's like, no. What?
And there's just like some
and she's just like, she's doing like a Peloton workout on the ceiling, and you're like, God damn it.
I knew it this whole time.
Like, I go to church every goddamn Sunday. They're gonna bring the demons out of me.
I see.
Yeah, Asian horrors.
Guys, no.
Like, oh, you're scared of spirits? Hold my beer. You're like, oh
Are you
Lord.
kidding me? Gross.
Pilates in my ceiling. Damn it, Susie. Out doing Pilates on my ceiling. I just imagine like a ghost in like 80s attire, like just listening to 80s music, just like
Going to town.
Yeah, doing like stair climbers or something. And you're like, God damn it.
This is not what I wanted.
You're like, this is the exact opposite of what I wanted.
Yeah, that does look like a cozy bed. Pillow top. Like,
Richard Simmons. The ghost of Richard Simmons doing Pilates on your ceiling.
No.
They're like, let's lift those legs. And you're like, ah!
No, but I'm feeling like some feather downs. Like there's some feathers in those sheets.
Oh yeah, it's cozy as fuck. It's like the kind of bed you can just melt into.
Yes. But she's about to be awake. So we can hold her.
She runs, jumps out the window, starts climbing down a ladder in the rain, and you just see Richard Simmons crawling down it, and he's like, lift those legs.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
What?
I heard something.
Like what? What'd you hear?
Like Lucy, but not Lucy.
Nobody loves love handles. Give them to me. Spookiest voice imaginable. Like.
Yeah, maybe.
I love how the roles are reversed, because I'd be like, hear noises on the roof, and you're like, what? What do you hear? Like, I hear something at the door, and you're like, go back to bed.
No, you know, if I heard something, I'd be like punching you. I'd be like, I hear something.
I was like, you're like, oh, you're just running water.
Yeah, it's probably just the end of the world. Who gives a shit? Now, if I hear something.
Oh yeah, if you wake up, you're just gonna be like,
I will decimate you.
Mount my chest and just start like wailing on me, dude. Like I'm just like, no.
There is no like sweet talk like, sweetie dear, do you hear anything?
No, I wouldn't expect that. Like, something room. Just like, just
get him.
Oh, not the pastrami.
Must be the damn squirrel.
Not the pastrami drop buttons.
It's not true.
If you woke me up like that, I would be extremely frightened. Like I'd be like,
wait, what? If I woke you up with like how?
Like if you were like if you heard something paranormal and you were like you gotta get up now, I'd be like, oh god. I mean,
no, trust me, you'd be much more frightened by how hard I hit you.
Yeah.
I'd be like, listen. Boom.
Hey, listen.
And you'd be like discombobulated.
I gotta be honest, I would also be like, getting hit would be less frightening than must be that damn squirrel, he's back to steal my pastrami, and then you hit
Give
me.
me the baseball bat with the crucifix nailed to it. Yes.
Hey, Mom!
Like, you're a vegetarian. Like, what do you mean he's here to steal your pastrami?
Man, I want a meal so bad right now. You weakling.
I told you I was going through some hard times in business, a rough patch.
Mom has a job. We don't have to move.
I love the thought, sweetie, but being a writer doesn't mean I have a job unless somebody buys my writing. It's kind of like putting a for sale sign out front. I mean, it doesn't mean anything's sold until somebody wants to buy it. We're just keeping our options open.
This is where we live. You can't sell it for that reason alone.
Well, someone would have to make a really good offer before we'd even consider saying yes.
People who built this house back in 1800 something, they built it for themselves. They never planned on anybody else living here.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, this house, It's not meant for anyone in particular. We'll be here for a short while, just like the people before us, and we certainly won't be the last ones to live here. Not the way this place is made.
You don't get it. This is my home. I live here.
You know, when we first moved here, the thought of living in an old house with an historical vibe, it was great. But the maintenance is never ending. The taxes are killing us. I mean, people are always outside like it's some sort of tourist attraction.
What maintenance?
The plumbing, I mean, the pipes are ancient. The roof.
Tofu?
The yard,
Tofu.
grass just keeps growing and growing, whether somebody cuts it or not.
Try that
Dad doesn't have a job. He can cut it. Plus, winter's coming. Stuff stops growing. Problem
I want
solved.
tofu really bad.
The house is a bit big
I'm
for a
getting
family of
hungry.
3. I think it's time to let somebody else live here.
You already made up your minds. I hate you guys.
Angie.
We've talked about this time and time again.
I know, just give her some time.
You're like, I'm getting, dare I say it,
Angie.
The only thing missing is just
Which I am not allowed to be hanged. Okay, Angie. Okay. No, but tofu can be very tasty if fried. But allegedly, I'm not supposed to have fried tofu, but baked tofu.
I can do that.
Baked.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lucy.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you.
My parents have never done that.
Right.
That's scary on its own merit.
Make a wish.
Why are all the candles on the left side? Like they didn't even try.
Super creepy.
They're like, this is supposed to be terrifying. We love you, but also we want it to be
Well.
scary and spooky.
Oh, what?
We want you to have
Oh my
aim
goodness.
above all else.
I forgot the gifts.
Just breathe to the right. You're good.
Maybe next year, hon. Dad?
Oh,
So not cool. You know, I think I might have seen a few things in the...
Maybe they just
Did you
committed.
see?
Like they started over here,
Maybe
and
some
every
sparkles
cake,
of
like
those.
every year she gets older, they just move left the cake.
Come on, Squirt.
When she's like 70, it's gonna be all stacked up on top of
It'd
each
be
other.
funny if it was still like that, and like how old would their parents be? They're 90.
Dead.
There's like
90.
So what'd you wish for? Can't tell you. Ugh,
Oh, hey, Super.
Tell us or won't tell
How are you?
it's kind of weird.
Sorceress!
Okay,
We're watching scary stories.
Spooky beasties.
Not
Aw.
great. Are you scared? I'm scared too.
Aw. Are you nervous?
Are you gonna start it soon?
Somebody
I know
there?
you told me about it. The corona testing thing.
Oh, man.
I feel all fucked up yet. 7
kidding.
a.m. You can do it. You can
Yeah.
do it. You can do it. You can do it.
We believe in you.
The usual way?
I'm sure you'll do all right.
For the party night?
Yeah, I think our little After party?
It's a 12-hour shift. I know. It's very looming. I've been there.
I mean,
Whenever I've like slept on the
as much as
couch
I
for
can
like
trust the little
4
pea
days in a
sticks.
row, and
I
I'm
gotta see
like,
Dr.
I
Green for a
can't even
follow-up
lift
next
my
week.
head off the couch. Like, how am I gonna do it? But you can do it. You can do it.
All right, well, let's assume
And
it's for
afterwards, you'll
real.
feel better.
What then?
Each shift will
Um,
get easier.
It would be
I know.
ridiculous. I mean, right?
I sound like a jackass right now, but promise. I promise. I promise you a moose. I promise.
Porpoises you a moose.
I promise you a papoose?
Prioritize a papoose.
An entire papoose.
You prioritized a moose with shoes.
Now, without those shoes, yeah, I'm sorry to prioritize a papoose. Here's a moose. Worst case scenario is I just quit. Exactly. Isn't that the best thing about being in healthcare? Is if you're like, I hate this shit, then you just go.
I'll be home a little early tonight. Jack Simmons is coming over for a quick drink.
Jack, really?
That's scary. Kitchen.
What's that about?
Jesus.
I was thinking about teaming up, talking about
That's
a new
scary
show.
with the lights on.
Isn't he sort of the boy who cried?
Imagine you're like, oh, I gotta go get a glass of water.
argue
Oh,
that he made
my
the right
scary ass kitchen.
Yeah, but that was then, wasn't
On
it?
this scary ass bitch.
Hey, sweetie, you want to go out to dinner?
See,
tonight,
look,
just
they're
you and me?
doing the scary angles and
Well,
everything
Jack still has
already.
some of his family money, along with my reputation. I think we can get even more investment. What's the concern?
I don't mean to put the kibosh on anything, but I just,
So,
I don't always feel comfortable.
number
around
one,
Jack.
don't
My
have
dad
kitchens like this.
Partnered up with a guy one time who was not, to say the least, his style. But, you know, sometimes it takes all types to get it done,
It looks
right?
like my kitchen. A little, anyway.
Carbonated water. You gotta stop having like creepy living
This house is
conditions.
haunted.
Yeah, you're like, I live in the ground.
They're like, I live in the ground on consecrated land. Like
Last night in my room,
Nothing
I just
can
thought I
reach
was
us.
they're like I live on the set of The
Whoa, are you
Grudge.
sure your
Like
iPad was turned off?
Knew I could count on you, Mom.
You know, the house is over 100 years old. Squeaks and drafts kind of comes with the territory. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about.
please don't get randomly murdered. Like
Yeah,
please
please
stay
don't.
safe.
Please don't watch
No,
any
that's
horror
BS.
movies, really.
Where they
Don't
live,
tell me
they're
a
just
house like
like they
this
watch a
doesn't have at
horror
least one
movie
ghost.
in that
About
environment.
the house.
No,
the
but they would
ghost
probably
box
watch a
wasn't
horror movie and they've been like, I've already
What if this is a new
just
ghost?
like started this as
How
like
can a
a
ghost be new?
quantitative thing that could
Like, you're an
happen to
expert
me,
at
and I
everything.
already have
Lucy.
you know this dug into the ground, so this could not happen to me either.
They're
And I
like-
already have
They're like,
this
listen,
many vials of water and ground beef. So
they're like worst case Ontario.
Ontario. Oh my god. They could not escape to Ontario. Never. Would you? Would that be in your plan? Oh, funny.
Dennis?
It's a cool.
Oh, you have the gun from Constantine?
Oh, wow.
Luce?
Probably do. Do you have a shotgun? That's what I'm wondering.
I just imagine like Carbonated just like laying in bed and someone's like, ooh, and he just has like a super soaker filled with holy water and it's like, like I'm going back to bed.
And that's one thing that I have actually considered getting as a shotgun.
Yeah, repeating Holy Crossbow, that would be awesome. That's some like Bloodborne shit.
No, so if you could give somebody like me, for instance, like where okay, my scenario that actually made me think that I might need a firearm
Other documents, it's time
was
to clean
I
house. A
share
smart woman, what to
property
keep,
with my
what to toss.
parents.
Someone in
So we
our
both
community
have the
will win a
same
furnace.
parking area. And we have a Ring camera, like spotlight. And whenever my parents were out of town, it detected motion. So I clicked on it, and I could have sworn to God it showed a clown standing there in the middle of our parking area. Like, I could have sworn to God. And I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, what do you do in that circumstance? Or I could just, like, walk down to my parking area, like, from my parking area to my place, and I don't even have, like, a locking mechanism. Like, really. That's whenever I was like, okay, so maybe a firearm would be okay. But the closest that I know of is up at my parents' house. Because they have one.
Oh, 45 under your pillow and a 12 gauge hooked to your bed frame?
No, I don't have that. I don't want that. I don't want any of that. I want something that's, like, short, sweet, effective. Like a...
Wow, look at you. You are growing up. What
I
grade are
don't
you
know.
in?
Creepy?
8th grade.
Yeah, no,
Well,
it
that
is
is a
creepy.
great grade to be.
It was super creepy.
Oh no, I was saying that guy. He's like sitting there. He's like, "Oh, you're all
hey,
grown
Dennis,
up now." He's like,
will you
and she's
take a
like,
look at
"How old are you?" And she's like, "8th grade." And he's like, "Oh, 8th grade."
Oh God.
And I'm like, "Huh."
I was just telling your little girl how
No, clown.
she's all
Yeah,
grown up right
no,
before
that.
our very eyes.
That's where I go, like, I want a, like, firearm that blows
No,
fire
I'm,
out the front of it.
on
Like,
the
I just
wagon
want something that
for the
just
moment.
sprays bullets everywhere. As soon as I open my front door, like, I want that person to be dead, dead.
And I'll have a 7.
Do it? Get your CCW?
I'm sorry. Can I get
Concealed.
can I get a sparkling
Nine?
water with lime
Concealed
and stuff?
carry.
Thank you.
Don't tell me. Not another
Hold
diet.
on.
No, just being careful.
And a 9mm in your purse. Or if you really want to hide it.
38.
No, I don't want to hide anything. It's for whenever I'm at home. I want to be able to obliterate something that is scaring me. That I don't
Shot.
feel like I can get away from at my own home.
Here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But at the same time, what if it's like one of my cousins trying to scare me? I don't want to murder them. Huh?
A beanbag and a shotgun or rock salt.
Uh,
I mean, it'll still hurt. It won't feel good.
Home defense, 12 gauge then? Great for home defense? But that's my issue is like I want to, like, okay, in that scenario where I thought that I saw like a clown just standing there, and I live on the top of a mountain, like, to breach the mountain by walking that
No, I
entire
mean,
like fucking cliff.
it was wet out there and there's leaves and like literally my tires were spinning. So to get to the top of the hill,
Yeah, without a car.
yeah, and
Without a car.
and dressed like a clown.
Yeah,
like
like you're doing some damage
that's
to
unsettling.
yourself. But by standing there thinking that somebody might actually go to their app and look at their app to see that you're just standing there.
If you're ever in here taking a nap and I step outside to like talk on the phone and I hear like squeaking, like shoes, yeah, no, like you're gonna I'm gonna be like fuck, like I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, I'm gonna be like what? Why?
Squeaky wheels.
Beanbags will break ribs, but 90. It just depends on where you hit somebody.
Yeah, but Oh,
Getting
like
hit with a beanbag round does not feel good
so.
at all.
Here's my deal. Here's my deal. Is what is the likelihood of there being a serial killer that's gonna come up here and try to like murder me in a clown outfit versus somebody trying to pull a prank? So who should I murder?
I would say it would be more like that's why I said a shotgun because it's more if they try to breach the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if
but
they're
I'm
trying
talking
to,
about like even if it is one of like my cousins or something like that, or
would they like,
my nephews or nieces whenever they get older.
yeah.
Like I don't want to murder them.
But I feel like I feel like it would be like easy to tell. Like I don't think they would like I don't think your niece is gonna come down here, start banging on the doors. I mean,
You don't
she-
know. I mean,
she
they're
could.
pulling a prank.
But that's the reason. It's like if they breach the door, like you know what I mean. Like if it was like, because like that's the thing is like it takes a like I don't know. I mean, that's why I suggested that. But I mean,
Land doctrine is different. If you are retreat to your house and then
oh
they
no,
try to break in.
she's talking about she doesn't want to like hurt some.
No,
by
I'm
accident.
talking about like
It's a
like
family
in my scenario where I was like chilling at my house and I got an alert at the front where it showed me that there was an alert at the front door, like a motion alert, and I clicked on it and I could have sworn to God that there was a fucking clown standing out front. That was just standing there. Now, my initial thought is like, I'm gonna die. Or whatever. This thing is gonna come get me. Or whatever. But my second thought should be, well, what if this is a prank? What if this is like my nieces or nephews or cousins or something that are trying to like come and pull a prank on me? I shouldn't murder them. So and from their perspective, oh, let's go like pull a prank on them. Let's go up there and like you'll dress up as a clown or whatever, and it'll be like really funny whenever you bang on her door or whatever. And
That's
then
valid.
and then she opens the door and it's a big clown or whatever.
You tase them. You get them with a stun gun, and they're like, ah.
Yeah, but what if you like blow their brains out?
Yeah, that's why you don't like that's the thing is like I feel like here is a different story because it's like if I heard a noise like that, I mean, I wouldn't initially be like I'd be like somebody like walked up walked up there, they got past the gate and they like walked up here.
Yeah, that's where I was like,
You ever see like a clown on the camera and I have to go out there? I'm not walking up the path.
really?
I'll just go around.
Like this path? Oh.
I'll come around the back. It'll be like, I mean, I don't know if it's a paranormal clown, I'm fucked either way. You know what I mean? If it's a serial killer clown, I'd
Circle around this way and I'll be like, oh, good.
oh no, because like they have to come down the path.
Yeah, and they'll be like, boop, 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 boop. And they'll come get me.
I won't let them get you.
Yeah, you would.
No,
You're going around the other way.
no, I'm gonna.
Mm-mm. And I'll be like, ooh, ooh. And you'll be like, I'm around the other way of the path.
I'll just sit at the door.
It's up to you. Keep a firearm handy. And if they break in, then it becomes hot. If you warn them enough, the doorbell, or through the door, act aggressive, then it starts to become real. I'm just saying, like, don't you kind of get the, like, the issue that I'm running into where I don't want to like destroy my entire like friend or family's life by like murdering them with a shotgun or handgun, machine
I
gun,
think a good option.
a deadbolt.
Like bolt lock. Just so like, you know what I mean? That way, like if something happens, then you might have a firearm.
But you'd be like,
Well, no, I mean, like, you're not gonna fire through your door. Yeah, you're just like you're sitting there in the bathroom, like,
I mean, a deadbolt's pretty solid.
yeah, it would take
That's what I'm saying.
that would protect you because like
Yeah, but okay, so I don't want to have to aim if something is coming at me.
oh no, I'm talking about like a deadbolt on the door. So like you know what I mean? Like if you need to lock it, like if anything happens, like if you
Oh
start
no, I have a deadbolt and I have a chain.
oh well then that's cool. Then yeah, if you have if you had like a shotgun, then that would be fine.
I
And
actually
then,
have a double deadbolt and a chain on my door
oh well, then you'd be good.
for a while. But I mean,
Oh, well, I mean, it wouldn't be like it wouldn't be your niece. Like if they actually broke through double deadbolts and chains, I'd say that.
yeah, that'd be extensive. Then I'd probably murder them.
And then it turns out to just be Joseph or something.
You have an AIM with anything if something coming at you? These are useless, by the way.
Not if you start swinging them around.
What do you mean, chains?
You just start whipping chains around.
No, what chains around? No. That sounds scary.
That's how you fend off clowns. You whip your chains back and forth.
Whip your chains back and forth. They whip your chains back and forth.
That would be extremely dangerous. Like, depending, like even if they were small chains.
I'm confused by that, though. What is AIM?
AIM. They're just saying AIM. They
Oh,
don't mean
just
AOL
AIM.
Instant Messenger.
I was scared by it, okay? I was nervous.
Like you have to AOL Instant Messenger with anything. If something's coming at you.
Okay, I have an idea.
You're like, I'm gonna go whip my chains back and forth.
Oh. No. Let's see what the last one was that I did not want. 1 month ago. Their old shit is amazing.
Oh god.
What? Which one?
Go up. There was one with like a little girl in the back. Look like a well not. Oh, that one right there. Up.
This one?
No, the one up. One more. After that one. Look, that little girl right there.
Spooky, and that's why I subscribe to Shudder.
You might have already watched this.
Alright, security was my forte when I was in the States. You're still in the States. What are you talking about? Door chains are useless, and deadbolts are only as strong as the door frame enforcement. So what do you think about my case? So I wish you could almost like see where I live, but we're beyond a gate. So you have to past a gate, and from walking beyond that gate is like you're about to have a heart attack. I shit you not. Like it's up a very mountainous.
I've never ran up it, but like I would imagine it would be.
No, so anyone that makes it up that mountain is about to have a heat stroke. I don't care what type of weather
I started
it is.
hyperventilating. I was like, Like I had to stop halfway up, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
No, I mean
it's like this,
it's
and
not
then this.
it's not traversable.
No, like my car struggles, like, and it's
Like
a machine.
most like non-electric cars are like you have to like shift
My
gears
car was out of breath. Like, it's-
to get up.
let
that.
alone if I was wearing clown attire.
Gates are nothing. Neither woods. If someone
seen
wants
this
to get
gate
in,
or
they'll
these
find a
woods.
way to basic island obstacles. Yeah, but what I'm saying is if somebody put that much effort into it, and I saw them like on my front camera where they were just standing in my parking lot, what would be your first incentive? Like what would be your first weapon of choice of just like some clown standing there? Just curious.
Shudder.com, which is by far the best horror video streaming service out there. With Shudder, you get access to great Shudder original horror movies like Superhost and the awesome new found footage movie VHS 94. You also get other great Shudder original content like 3 full seasons of my all-time favorite horror anthology series, Creepshow. So if you're looking for some spooky entertainment, there are literally hundreds of great horror movies and shows available on Shudder, and you can stream Shudder on all of your favorite devices. But if you're a little
Someone put
hesitant
that
and
much
maybe
effort
you're not
into it?
sure,
My first
well,
choice
Shudder
would
is
be
now
a
offering all Nuke's
12
Top 5
gauge?
viewers a special deal to check it out. If you sign up with the code NUKE, that's N-U-K-E,
Is that like
you'll get an extended
a
free 30-day trial to try Shudder and decide for yourself.
like a buckshot would be like a
It's pretty cool.
Like the metal beams.
yeah, but like it dispersed.
Anyway, so I'm a huge fan of Shudder.com,
That's where I'm at.
and I think you will be too. Top 5 ghosts caught
Ghosts.
on camera. Meanwhile,
camera.
on TikTok.
Meanwhile.
TikTok user Lacey Nicole is a theater teacher at Sarasota High School in Florida. Lacey says that there have always been stories about the ghost of, quote, Shannon, a Victorian woman who is said to haunt the high school's theater. Back in 2007, during a high school production of Beauty and the Beast, many believed that Shannon the ghost made a very unexpected appearance, and it was all captured on camera.
I love the person in the background. It's like, what the fuck? There's always that one person.
The unexplained apparition of a woman in a flowing white dress can be seen floating 8 to 10 feet above the stage. Now, it should be noted that this was in no way a part of the play. So could this be the spirit of Shannon, the Victorian-era ghost that haunts the theater?
Size anywhere from
Let me know
6 to
what you
12
think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would go for like short, like a short round.
If you're like right here and you were shooting at the
TikTok
microwave
user
with
It's
buckshot,
IC claims that
it
his
would hit
friends
the
captured something
refrigerator.
very strange
That would
on
also
their
hit
outdoor
your
security
cabinet.
camera.
No, but like what they were saying is like
right now.
if I was going for an actual,
You can
like
go
if I was
for it.
going to ever hit something, I don't want to have to aim.
No, you don't have to aim it. You just you have to aim like in front of you, but it's a cone.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that would be
What the
perfect.
frick, dude? So weird.
A strange figure seems to walk across the street and then just seems to float up into the sky.
Oh.
Even weirder, then another large dark shadow seems to fly above the houses and
Not
disappear.
like that.
Now, as always, I'm going to let you decide just what this could be because, well, I frankly have no idea what this is. Could it be something paranormal? Or if you have a more logical explanation, please let me know down in the comments.
It's really large.
TikTok user Tara from Phoenix, Arizona claims that only a year after she and her husband moved into their new home, Their security cameras
The
begin to
heaviest
record
bat
strange
ever.
things happening all around
Just
their
really
house.
trucking it over
Yeah,
One day
so
when Tara and her husband
but
are
at
away
the same
from
time,
home,
I
the two
live in
dogs
very
begin to
close
act
proximity.
very
Okay.
strangely.
So I live in very close proximity to a bunch of my relatives. And like, what would prevent my young nieces or nephews from trying to like prank me or whatever for Halloween? Or from trying to do one of the fucking TikTok challenges where like, hey, how much can you have your relative shit their pants on a daily basis without me trying to kill them? That's my only thing. You have to aim with everything, even shotguns, range, and shred. Do completely different things. Shotgun.
If you want something that'll stop somebody, but it's like within arm's length or whatever, help Rod.
Tell them to say that. Land. Setting up signs saying that you will end them. I guess that's my only thing. Is I don't have that, and because I wouldn't. I guess I'm a target. Guess I'm dead. I'm DED dead. Felt that way. Oh shit.
The dogs seem very upset about something as they continuously bark from within their crates. But then mysteriously, the dogs suddenly just stop barking completely, even though they still look a bit anxious. Then it almost seems like something yanks off one of the dog's collars. Tara says she has no idea why the dog suddenly stopped barking or what happened to the collar. But what do you think?
Also looks like it got like fucking slammed.
Paranormal Nightmare.
Yeah.
10 years ago, paranormal investigators and brothers Josh, Sean, and Rocky Foreman from the YouTube channel Paranormal Nightmare TV series went out to investigate the allegedly haunted Sullivan Johnson Museum in Hardin County, Ohio. Built in 1896, the elegant
that one
three-story
was
museum was
freaky.
once the private home of the Sullivan family.
I
who
really
lived
hate
there
the
for over 80
animal
years.
ones.
It is
Yeah,
said that the
because
ghosts of
they're
several
not,
members
like-
of the Sullivan
they're not
family
acting.
still wander the
Like,
haunted
there
halls
has
of
to
the
be
museum
something.
to this day. The Foreman brothers attempt to make contact with any spirit that might inhabit the building. Their EVP recorder captures some strange and disturbing messages.
We mean you no harm. Like I said, we're just here doing an investigation.
Are you in here?
But that's not all that the investigators capture at the Sullivan Johnson Museum. When they head down into the basement, they see something downright chilling.
Anybody down here? Jesus Christ. Did you see that? Yeah.
What was it?
Time to go.
You saw it?
Did you see it?
It was, but I
As
saw
the brothers
it. Yeah,
turn a
it
corner,
looks
they
like
almost
a-
walk right into what appears to be the small, dark apparition of a child. And its face just does not look quite human. But what do you think this bizarre figure could be? Could it just be a very odd trick of the light? Let me know down in the comments.
Is that what you saw?
You can watch many more amazing and creepy paranormal investigations over on the YouTube channel, Paranormal Nightmare TV series.
Look how they get just walked around.
Anybody
the
down
corner.
here? Jesus Christ.
If If you see a video that you think would be perfect for the top 5, or if you have a ghost hunting channel and you caught something great, contact me at nukestop5@gmail.com. Graveyard Shift. Now this next creepy video went viral in the Philippines, and hundreds of Nukes Top 5 viewers were nice enough to send it in to me, so it definitely deserves a spot in this week's top 5. So, late one night, a security guard from Davao de Oro, Philippines is patrolling a university campus all alone. Suddenly, bizarre and unexplained things begin to happen, and the frightened guard takes out his phone and starts recording the terrifying paranormal activity.
Welcome to my YouTube channel. So ngayong gabi mag-robing ako. So check natin yung mga office saka sa likod nitong building na to. Check natin kasi may mga gamit dyan. So ating oras is 12:17. So yan, ilak natin to. So ayan guys, yung trabaho ko sobrang dilim. So ayan, pasukin natin yan. Handahan. Ayan.
Just about face immediately, like no. What's up, Joshy? How are you?
My kind of content. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Wait, did it open?
Yan, narinig ko.
There's a noise.
Naka-on yung ano, yan. Yan guys, so, yung kita niyo yung
See anything? I don't see anything. You?
Yan, ilang tao dyan guys ha.
Good, how are you guys?
Yung electric fan sa itaas.
Pretty good at the moment.
Yan o.
Time to get spooked.
I feel like we're about to get spooked.
Kita niyo. Okay, so. Yan guys. Kita niyo.
Oh no.
Oh, the chairs are moving.
Yeah, I just saw him move.
Oh.
It moved like something was walking through him.
I-off yung ano. Grabe, nakakatakot dito guys, sobra. So check natin, pasukin natin guys. Para kita nyo yung sadness.
Nuh-uh. I don't like that at all.
No.
How is he just like dealing with it?
Look at him, he doesn't even care. He's just like,
I hope these chairs go up in my asshole.
what if he just like arm barred one of the chairs? He's like, he's like, all right, I'm gonna climb over the chairs. He's like, I'm going into the room. He's like, I'm going into the
I'm just gonna move chairs on my own.
He's like stepping over chairs that were thrown at him, like through a vacant room.
What is he doing?
Dude, that guy's stone cold, man. Like, that guy's got like no fear.
He's got balls.
He's got no fear at all.
He's got them balls going
That flashlight's not even big. No, it does not look good, Joshy, at all. You are absolutely right. It is not looking
You're
good.
looking bleak.
A door opens and slams shut. Ceiling fans turn on by themselves. And
The
most
door
horrifying
opening
of
and
all,
shutting is what
classroom
prompted him to
chairs
go
slide
over
across
there.
The floor in all directions.
He wasn't even.
So could it be that this
Yeah, and he's just like,
university in
well,
the
I'm gonna climb
Philippines is
over it.
haunted?
Like,
Or is it all just an elaborate hoax?
isn't this a character
You
from like a
decide.
horror game?
Tunnel vision. Popular urban explorer Chris
There's
Hill from
no
the YouTube
way that
channel
was
Urbex
real.
Hill is back.
I call
Exploring another creepy
bullshit.
abandoned
I call
location in his
shenanigans.
home state of Ohio. This time
Otherwise, he
travels
would
to
have
the
been
Molly
like
Stark Sanatorium,
opting out, like
beautiful
super fast.
sprawling
He'd be like
hospital built in the
bullshitting out of here.
1920s for patients suffering from tuberculosis. Many of the hospital patients did not survive their stay, and passed away from their terrible
Ooh,
illness
TB
inside
was
these hospital
bad,
walls.
big bad.
In 1995, the
You
sanatorium
know, we actually
was
had
closed for
a
good,
TB
and the
hospital
structure
in
was left
Chattanooga.
abandoned.
Yeah.
The
My
hospital was said to be
you know,
extremely
I told you
haunted
about
by
my
the
great grandpa Chunk. He
Mhm.
actually had TB.
Really?
Yeah, he worked for TVA back in the day,
Mhm.
and he got TB from working like with TVA.
Really?
Yeah, but he didn't actually he didn't die from it. He lived for a long time, but he had like issues from
Like chronic lung issues and stuff like that.
yeah. A lot of people had tuberculosis.
So I nearly off the record, like broke into a TB hospital that was local. I wish I would have. But we
Yeah.
were worried that they were like all set on the
Yeah.
windows.
I wonder if they would let us like look around and
Maybe. Because they did have stretchers and everything's still in there.
what if
Like
we just streamed? What if
wheelchairs.
we streamed in there?
That'd be so cool. Oh my god. I would kill for that.
Of past patients. Despite the spooky stories and legends, Chris Hill is intent on exploring the historic building.
But
He
that's
makes
one
his way
thing.
inside.
Like this. Whenever they abandon a hospital, they abandon it. Everything is just like they left it.
They just leave.
Yeah. Like whenever a hospital like goes out of business, that's just it.
I mean, maybe it's because I'm not a medical professional, but being alone in a hospital at night, no lights on or anything, I would be like,
You know what I do most of the time? Which I actually have worked as a on a med surge floor by myself at night, and I turn all the lights off. And I'm like, ooh, it's so spooky.
oh gosh.
Which, like, who's gonna haunt me? Like,
It's just it's that like that vacant like
no, it's so vacant too, and
it's
I'm
just
like,
like
oh
desolate
god.
like
And there's like somebody yelling, and I go in to like check on my patient, and they're asleep, and I'm like, guess I'm being haunted.
you go in there and they wake up and you're just like at the door, you're like, you just give them one of these, you're just like,
No. No, but this looks about right. It does.
at least there's like light coming through the windows.
Inside, Chris soon begins to feel
Oh
like
my
he might
God.
not be alone inside the old building.
Used to visit these types of places. Are they as good as this? I feel like hospitals are better than other places.
Chris quickly turns off his light as he believes he hears someone nearby, but he dismisses the sound as potentially just his imagination and continues on exploring. Deep in the basement of the sanatorium, he finds a winding concrete tunnel system. Again, the urban explorer hears something.
So he's probably going down into the morgue. I'm just saying.
Tunnels are creepy as Okay, I heard something. I definitely heard something that time.
Chris is exploring all alone when he hears the last thing that you want to hear when you're down in dark tunnels beneath an allegedly haunted sanatorium. Footsteps in the dark. Now a bit freaked out, he nevertheless decides to continue through the tunnel. That's when things take a terrifying turn.
What the is that? Yo, do you see that? Y'all. What? What the That is crazy. There's somebody down here. somebody down here. I swear I saw somebody. What the
There's somebody down here, and then they just hear the honk honk like the clown horn.
What is that?
It's a dead end. Oh my. What? What the What? I'm out of here. I swear I legit saw somebody. And this is dead end. I'm out of here. Yo, and my shoes sticking to the ground. This is crazy. Hell no.
When the footage is brightened, we can see that something seems to be coming towards Chris, but then suddenly disappears. But most horrifying of all, Chris follows and discovers that the tunnel is a dead end, and whoever or whatever he saw had no place to go. The explorer is now creeped out and has had enough of the spooky sanatorium. But when he tries to find his way back out of the tunnels, this happens.
Oh, great. There's more.
Y'all will not believe this. My f***ing light died. Nah, this is some bullshit. I'm using a f***ing cell phone light.
I don't think that's like a moored tunnel. Like I think that's like more of like a, like maybe just like a basement tunnel, like for like, piping or something. Like maybe.
It said it was a moratorium, right?
Yeah, like wherever he is though, like, well, I guess that could just be a dead end.
I'm surprised he's
As
not
Chris is
checking
frantically
like
searching for an
those
exit from the dark tunnels, Chris's camera light
caveats,
dies
because
at
that's
the
where
worst
they put the
possible time,
bodies.
even though the
Yeah.
battery was fully charged. So with only the dim light from his cell phone to guide him, he finally manages to find his way back out. So did Chris capture the apparition of one of the hospital's deceased patients roaming the dark underground tunnels? Let me know what you think.
Because
You
that's
can watch
the whole
this full
thing is
two-part
like
exploration
whenever
and many
you
more
have,
videos
like,
of abandoned
nowadays
historic
we have
locations over on the
morgues,
YouTube channel
allegedly,
Urbex
in
Hill.
hospitals. But the
Haunting
cool thing
of Eric
is
Gunner.
if you like have it
Popular YouTuber
underground,
Eric Gunner
like we
claims that he
used
has
to,
had
like
some
we should,
terrifying paranormal
you don't
encounters
have
at
to
his
keep it
home in
refrigerated.
Mexico. Eric recently
seen the,
purchased and moved into a
place,
new
like,
home.
for,
Bizarrely
Chattanooga,
enough, the woman who
that's like the
previously
old
owned the
morgue.
house left most of her belongings
There's
behind.
a place
Eric
like
says
under
he has no
like so
idea
the old
what
city.
happened to the woman,
Like a lot
but
of
he
the
also
buildings
says that he
downtown. I'd
didn't
love to
really
check it
ask
out
many
sometime
questions
for
because
my
he got the
geology
house
class.
at a very
At
good
UTC,
price.
we went down in
But
one,
soon after
and it was
moving
like
in,
the
Eric
morgues
is
are still
awakened
there.
one night
Like
by
where
some
Nice.
the
sounds
thing is
coming
like,
from
but they have
downstairs.
like
He's
a
worried that someone
weird
might have
like
broken
panel
into the
that has
house.
like
And to make matters
Chattanooga
worse,
that looks
the
like it
power is
was
out,
in
and he
like the
can't seem
early
to get a signal
1800s,
on
and it
his
has like a
phone.
bird of
He
paradise.
grabs a
like, flying
flashlight and
over the
records with his
little
phone as he
thing,
carefully
but
goes
it's
to
like
investigate.
it's
What
frightening
happens
down there.
next
Like it's
is
unsettling.
downright chilling.
But yeah, it was really
Not
cool. To,
necessarily the tunnel system of TB hospitals aren't about transport.
Creo que nunca había mostrado mi
They were
casa,
about transportation of
que es donde
survival
recientemente me mudé.
items for living. Decrease.
Hasta miedo me da gritar hola.
There's shaking cameras. I'm sorry you don't like them. I'm sorry. BRB need to pee. I'm right there with you. I think it might be about time for me to pee.
RP. I'm
Need
thinking I
to
need to
pee.
be thinking about what to be.
But I
Hasta
can't.
allá.
These are so
Imagínense
scary.
qué
I
tan grande
can't.
está. O sea, real. Es todo este pedazo.
I'm sorry you don't like horror vloggers, but I feel like they're more real. You know what I mean?
Seguro se grabó. No.
Eric doesn't notice, but as he descends the staircase, the voice of a woman can be heard saying atrás, or in English, back, or perhaps go back.
Me choca ese teléfono.
And then when he heads back up the stairs, the same voice seems to say subi, or go up. Then his blood runs cold, because as he looks toward the end of the hallway, he sees someone staring back at him. Now very freaked out, he reluctantly goes over to investigate, but there's no one there. Cut to a month later, and Eric is awakened in the middle of the night again, this time from the sound of someone knocking on his bedroom door.
La verdad sí pienso mucho en si bajar o no, porque le volvieron a pegar. Si vuelven a pegar, voy a abrir. Creo que se ve más.
That's fucking crazy.
No hay nadie.
I've been sucking on the mead. That's such a hilarious statement.
I'm glad.
Entonces les estaba diciendo otra vez.
I want that on a tasteful Christmas sweater. BRB, I need to pee. And then on the back of it, it says I've been sucking on the mead.
No, I actually found a Christmas sweater because my dad was cleaning out his whatever, like his closet, and it was a Santa that had
Someone
a
is knocking,
beard,
but when Eric
and then
opens
the
it,
beard has
again,
lights,
no one
and I
there.
can actually turn the lights
Since the ladder
on.
to the attic is right outside his bedroom
Yeah.
door, Eric decides to check up there. And it did not go well.
Of course it doesn't.
What? They're like, he climbs up there after he hears the voice of a woman that he doesn't recognize, and guess what? It went great. Like,
Yeah, it went amazing that
fantastic.
they're still dating to this
yeah,
day.
he found a lottery ticket for $80 million. He's great.
They're still together.
That's a scary fucking place. What's with these people like just climbing up random places like after they hear a knock? Like he's like, I live alone and I have no neighbors and I heard a knock at my door.
What is he doing?
Se las
If it's
está
date next
moviendo.
Tuesday, she's a Sagittarius.
Y aquí hay otro
A
cuarto. ¿ya vieron?
Spookatarius.
Bueno, ya vimos, ya vamos para abajo. No, o sea, de verdad que yo no entiendo por qué está pasando esto. Muchos me decían que no, que es que había sido por lo de la chica esta, de todo lo que había pasado. Escucho un ruido allá arriba. Ay, santa madre de Dios.
Eric hears a sound coming from the attic, and when he looks up, he sees a horrific, distorted face staring back at him. Terrified, Eric runs and hides in his bedroom, and he stays
No,
there for
thank
the
you.
rest of the night. Eric later discovers that his pet parakeet
not
passed
good at
away
all.
inside its cage that very night. And so, he now fears for the life of his little dog.
Oh.
He decides to just pack up his stuff and move out of the house for good. You can check out more of Eric Gunner's strange encounters over on his YouTube channel, Full Gunner.
No, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Please follow me on
I want to see one where like the
here
people are like, he sees a
and
disembodied
on Twitter
face, and
here.
then he just grabs a hammer and just starts
And
like
on
wailing.
I'll see you next week.
He's like, like he's not scared. Like he doesn't go back in his room. The ghost's like, oh fuck, oh
We have a
fuck.
date next Tuesday. She's a Sagittarius. Oh god.
Oh, the demonic squirrel
No,
wants
that
his
would be like the
nuts.
worst possible thingy.
He's a spookatarius.
Spookatarius.
No,
please don't come in here.
Hey,
I think
now, Joshy, you said that you were not a big fan of like the
finally
shaky camera
We're
stuff.
making horse noises?
These guys are actually very stable camera guys.
Again, back to ghoul hunting in the spot where we
But they
began
do ghoul hunt.
We came here as boys. Now we return as men.
I'm happy to be
Didn't
back.
see my
It is dressed
URL.
up for Halloween
Oh.
right now, so that's gonna add a little bit of spooky fun to it.
Yeah, but that makes it almost better. Because
Yeah.
jack-o'-lanterns, everybody loves
I'm
them, right?
scared.
You have anything to say to her, Shane, the madam of the house?
Yeah, let's tango, baby. Let's dance.
We're gonna have to take a trip in the way back
It does
machine
feel like
for
we're
this
coming back home.
Yeah, I do
because this
feel it.
happened a long time
No,
ago.
I'm gonna pee first.
And we're sleeping here.
We're both gonna pee and then we're gonna watch this.
In case any of you needed a reminder, this place is a twisting nightmare.
Waiting on it.
Shut up.
Waiting on some.
Hello? Just so all of you know in this house, we've been here before. My name's Ryan.
My name's Shane.
And we're just here to talk. So if you want to come out, maybe show yourself.
You know, just chill here and hang out with us.
Yeah. This, I'm already lost. Great. Oh, look here. We got a Shane door and a Ryan door. Digging myself.
Yeah.
This week on the season premiere of BuzzFeed Unsolved, we reinvestigate the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? Avid fans of the show may remember that this is the site of our first paranormal investigation ever, and tonight, we return to once again tangle with Sarah Winchester and her cast of ghouls, this time stronger, faster, more prepared. And tonight, we're actually gonna sleep here, unlike last time. I was a little too chicken for that. We're gonna sleep individually too, alone.
I love it.
So you'll actually sleep tonight.
I'll get a great night's sleep.
I won't, probably. I'm gonna be in her bedroom, trying very hard to not die. I think I'm just gonna
What's
count.
she gonna do?
I don't know.
She's gonna rip out your spine? At the worst, she'll just give you a little kiss on the cheek or something.
I'm trying to challenge myself mentally this season because last season,
A little too cocky.
I got a little too calloused.
Yeah, you stopped believing in ghosts, I think.
I did not stop believing in ghosts. You just get
Maybe.
used to
It's just
hunting
odd.
ghouls after
I
a
think
while.
if you really believed in them, you'd still be pretty scared. But
Anyways, let's break down some history, huh? You ready?
oh yeah,
Let's get into it.
The 24,000 plus square foot Winchester Mystery House is a twisting, turning puzzle mansion with 161 rooms and bafflingly bizarre design. As a general proof of concept for the mansion's haunted reputation, Harry Houdini toured the Winchester home in 1924. His visit occurred close to Halloween, and he went late at night, nearly midnight. Houdini was known to routinely go out of his way to try to debunk mediums and other purveyors of the supernatural as charlatans, but he reportedly said nothing defamatory after visiting Sarah Winchester's home. Jumping forward to present day, one hallway on the third floor of the Winchester house is said to be particularly active as of late. Our static cam placed in that hallway picked up a bat flying, but also picked up what appears to be a black object thrown at the camera.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
call it a bat.
So where's the bat?
Huh?
Where's the bat?
You see it kind of go from there to there. I'll call it a bat. Hard to tell. A bit inconclusive, as is most of the things. You know.
I think this one is a truly on the fence. We don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Born circa 1840, Sarah Lockwood Pardee was from New Haven, Connecticut. Sarah was bright and well educated. She could speak 4 languages and played 3 instruments. She married William Wirt Winchester in 1862. In 1866, William's father, Oliver Winchester, renamed his New Haven Arms Company to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. The Winchester rifle was a staple of Westerns. It was beloved by Annie Oakley, Buffalo Bill, and President Theodore Roosevelt. It is perhaps the most iconic weapon of America in the 1800s, and the ultimate weapon of death in wars to come. Over 8 million Winchester 1886, 1892, and 1894 models were manufactured and sold. The same year that the Winchester Repeating Arms Company was started, Sarah gave birth to a daughter, Annie, her only child, who died 6 weeks later of marasmus, or malnourishment generally caused by a calorie and protein deficiency. In 1880, William's father, Oliver, died. 1 year later, William died, leaving 50% of the company and over $20 million in inheritance to Sarah, instantly making her one of the richest women alive. Shortly after, Sarah moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, where she purchased 161 acres of orchards. On this massive plot of land sat an 8-room, 2-story farmhouse, and it's here that the story of the Winchester Mystery House begins. To this day, you can visit an attic that used to be on the land at that time.
So right now we're going up to the hay house. This wasn't part of the original farmhouse, but it was part of the original property. It was there when Sarah first bought the land.
I remember this funny set of stairs from
And
last
we're about
time.
to go up our old friends, the
Yeah,
switchback
these were
stairs.
fun.
Just another fun part of this house. Is there anybody up here with us? We're coming up.
Ah, this place.
Well, we're back.
The Gould brothers.
Whoever lives in this house or whoever may be in this house now or in the past, we know this was one of the more original places when this place was first built and not a weird little fun house that it is now. Now that you know, we know who you are.
But do they know that we know that
They know that we know.
that we know who they are? That's the trick.
Oh, we're gonna kneel down?
Yeah, sure.
Anybody's in here with us, let us know. Say something. "20 seconds. You think something's funny?
I like that you give them a warning. 20 seconds left. Get your shit together. Time to move on.
Bye-bye. That was disappointing. Oh, God, fucking. Shit. Well, that's gonna happen a couple times tonight. Just there's Halloween stuff around. We got, is that a crow, a raven?
It's Ryan's biggest fear.
In 1884, Sarah began to compulsively build onto the farmhouse and would continue to do so until her death in 1922. Sarah paid contractors handsomely, sometimes 3 times the going rate, to work in shifts up to 24 hours per day on the near-consistent expansion of her Queen Anne Revival-style home. It's estimated that 500 to 600 rooms were built, but due to her constant remodeling, only 161 remain. To further contextualize the scale of the mansion, the home has 2,000 doors, 10,000 windows, 47 stairways, 47 fireplaces, 17 chimneys, 6 kitchens, 3 elevators, and 13 bathrooms. What caused this sudden obsession, you might ask? No one knows for sure, but a legend grew around Sarah Winchester and the mysterious expansion of her house, which says that after losing both her husband and a young daughter, Sarah sank into depression. At the suggestion of a friend, she consulted with a renowned Boston psychic, Adam Coons, who held a seance. Sarah wished to commune with her late loved ones. Instead, Coons revealed that Sarah was cursed by the countless lives killed by Winchester rifles, and the spirits of those victims had already caused her child and husband to die. The legend contends she was warned that if she ever halted construction on the house,
Let's watch
or
this
as many
one.
retellings of the legend put it, if the hammers ever ceased, she would die.
Welcome to
And
Ghost
conversely,
Stories
as long as she continued to
with
build
yours truly,
nonstop,
Tom McDonald.
she would live.
We're gonna have to
This
take
would
a trip
offer
in
an
the
explanation
Wayback
for the
Machine
bizarre
for this
floor
one.
plan and
'Cause this
nonsensical
happened a
features
long
of the
time ago.
house.
The year was 2012. Thankfully, the Mayan calendar was wrong and the much publicized end of the world didn't come. But it still got
I
weird.
fixed it.
It still got really weird. This all started with a music video shoot in the small Canadian town, abandoned
Boy.
Canadian town of
And
Tranquil.
turn it up.
But it wasn't until after this whole ordeal, it wasn't until after everything that I'm about to tell you, it wasn't until after all of that that we found out that Tranquil is actually one of the most haunted places in North America. Let's start from the beginning. So there was 3 of us. There was myself, the music video director, and my producer at the time, Olivier. We all piled into a vehicle on a Friday afternoon and started the long drive to a long forgotten corner of the Canadian Pacific Northwest. We were unknowingly embarking on what would turn out to be one of the most terrifying experiences of all of our lives. Aside from a traffic jam on the highway, it was a rather long and uneventful drive. As we drew closer and closer to Tranquil, things gradually became more and more desolate. The cars that we were sharing the highway with gradually disappeared. The streetlights gave way to pine trees, and the tiny communities that just dot the edges of the asphalt were just eventually swallowed up by the suffocating Canadian wilderness. Paved roads turned to gravel, and the gravel roads turned to dirt roads, and the vast forest around us just seemed to entirely close in. And when the paved roads turned to gravel roads and the gravel roads turned to dirt roads, that's when we reached the Iron Gates. Our final destination, Tranquil, had been cut off from the rest of the world for quite some time. Essentially, Tranquil was home to Canadians who had tuberculosis, and at the time, tuberculosis was incurable and highly infectious. Sound familiar? They pretty much shipped everyone in Canada who had tuberculosis. They shipped all of those people to Tranquil, this tiny town in the middle of nowhere, and they shipped them there to, well, die, essentially. Anyway, we didn't know any of that. All we knew was we had to shoot a music video, and this was the perfect place to do it, and we were going to get it done. So there we were in the middle of nowhere.
This bridge
we pulled
is
the car over
crooked.
to the side of the dirt road. We unpacked everything we needed, lights and cameras and bags and outfits and all that stuff, and we cut into the trees to get around the iron gate that was blocking the road, and we were on our way. So after a short hike through the trees, we came up over the top of a hill, and there it was. Just silent and still and forgotten. There was schools and houses and convenience stores and hospitals and libraries and paint chips just peeling off the outside of the exteriors of these buildings, just flapping in the wind. It seemed like they were just clinging to a time
I'm sorry.
lonely.
I just
We
had
had
to.
arrived.
I noticed because I want one really bad.
So we made our way down the hill, and we crossed the train tracks that encircled the town.
I just love how you're just like this.
There was no signs.
It is. It is.
When I
It
say no
is.
signs
It
of
is.
life, I mean nothing. No birds, no coyotes, no bugs, no nothing. Nothing like what you would expect of a town encapsulated in a massive forest in the middle of nowhere. So we made our way towards the 3 dilapidated houses. They were just on the outskirts of town, and they were identical. And they sat all in a row. Same paint, same windows, same doors, same front steps. Each house as perfectly the same as the next. Anyway, as we got closer, you could practically hear these houses moaning from years of being neglected and years without maintenance. It almost felt and sounded like something was stirring around inside them, and to be completely honest, I wasn't entirely sure I wanted to find out what that something was. But it turns out that I didn't have a choice. While I was standing there just sort of lost in thought and just gripped by this almost tangible apprehension about the situation at hand, something emerged from the middle house. 2 teenage kids, and we stopped dead in our tracks. So it was this boy and this girl, and they sort of like bounced toward us across this like sun-bleached pavement, and their demeanor was weird. So they got close enough to us, and I said to the boy, I said, "What are you guys doing here?" And like I said, their demeanor was strange. Well, maybe strange isn't the right word. Their demeanor just did not fit the situation. They were just like smiling and happy, and they seemed like they were excited to see us. And to me, that didn't fit the vibe. So the boy spoke first, and he said, we're just hanging out, just checking out the abandoned town, and we're filming it with this camcorder. And I was like, cool, well, did you see anything weird? And he said, nope, not yet. And then the girl just like interjected, and she was like, oh, be careful in the houses. Like a lot of the floors are rotting, and if you go upstairs, you could fall through, and it's really friggin' dangerous. I don't really remember much else about that conversation. It was maybe like 3 minutes long, and they darted off in the other direction, and we just continued on our way. So we went into the house that our new friends just emerged from, and
I mean, that's good
the girl
advice.
wasn't lying. There was a massive hole in the ceiling of the living room where it looked like something on the top floor had fallen through and landed in a giant heap of rubble just sitting on the floor in the living room. It was trippy. So the more we explored, the weirder it got. Like inside the school, there was 3 inches of dust on the desks, and the day's lessons were still scribbled on the chalkboard, and there was pencils and erasers just littered about all the workstations. And if you picked anything up, you leave a perfect impression of whatever you picked up on the surface that you picked it up off of. Like, this stuff literally hadn't been touched in years. After roaming through like half a dozen buildings, we had finally made our decision where we were gonna start shooting this music video, and we decided on, of course, the sanatorium. So we were walking down the main street on our way back to the hospital when I noticed something peculiar. Peculiar? When I noticed something up. There was this small
Inguinocular.
white brick building that was just sort of jetting out of the dirt right on the edge of town. And we had a long day of shooting ahead of us, but Tranquil just felt like it was some sort of portal to like an alternate dimension, and we were just so captured by the mystery of this town that like work came second, and we just wanted to explore. So we took off towards that white building. So this building was essentially just like a brick box. It was maybe like 10 feet tall by 20 feet long and 20 feet wide, and it had one of those big metal doors on it. It was like a like something that you'd see on a government building. It was that light green color, kind of like sun bleached by the sun. It was missing its doorknobs. I walked over, no windows on this thing, can't see inside. So I walk over to this big green door, and I put my hand inside where the doorknob's supposed to be, and I jerked the door open. So it was dark, and it was not the type of dark that you're familiar with. This wasn't like 1 a.m. in my house dark. This was like pitch blackness. But we're here to shoot a music video, right? So we got lights. So I grab one of the lights, and I turn that motherfucker on. So when I turn the light on, there's nothing in this room. There's no windows. There's no doors.
Boko,
There's
eh?
nothing on the walls.
When you go
There's
around
not even
that, like,
flooring. It's
Boko
just
River,
plain concrete.
there's actually a
It's
city,
as plain
like a
and
town
white
under
on the
water,
inside
because it got flooded whenever
as
they
it
had
was
the
on the
dam.
outside.
So there's like an
Exception
entire
of
like
one
town
thing.
underneath it. I just
That's
remember that.
cool.
Staircase
It'd be wild to like
going down.
be underneath it.
I'd be lying if I said we weren't scared, because we were freaked the out, man. But here's the thing about 3 dudes hanging out is none of these dudes is going to admit to any of the other dudes that they're scared, because that's not what dudes do. So we're all terrified, but nobody's going to admit that they're terrified to anybody else. So in the greatest display of masterfully fabricated machismo in the history of mankind, we go down the stairs. We are so deep in denial and so unwilling to admit that we're afraid in front of another man that we forced ourselves to go down a set of stairs into a black hole inside an abandoned town in the middle of nowhere. And you know what? I could barely
That is true
comprehend what was
carbonated.
at the bottom
Like
of this.
this was actually flooded
Medical
because of a dam, but yeah.
Everywhere. X-ray machines,
There's a lot
and
of them
surgery
like that.
tables, and scalpels, and wheelchairs, and
I bet it would be
bowling
really
lanes,
freaky
just
to like dive down and
everywhere,
look at
all
it.
covered in dust, untouched for years. So
I'm
there's
getting
3 walls
scared.
down here, and there's a doorway on each
Dangerous.
wall. No door, just a doorway. So I shine the light through the first doorway.
Carbonated water. How many times have you
shine
seen
the
me
light
fall
through the
asleep
second
on stream?
doorway, long concrete
I
hall.
think
And then I
twice,
shine the light through
if
the
not 3
third
times.
doorway. You guessed it.
Where I'm like,
Long concrete hall. Still neglecting the sheer terror that's permeating every cell in our bodies, we somehow choose a doorway,
I think at least 2
walk through
times.
it, and start our journey into the abyss. And what we found were just
You ever
more concrete
become
hallways,
experienced
and
in
more
life?
wheelchairs,
Oh
and
yeah,
more
all the
rolling beds, and
time.
more hallways, and more doorways, and
3
more
times combo.
concrete
Oh,
halls. This was a
there's
labyrinth
quite a few.
of underground
I've
concrete halls. And we
emerged
decided it was a
on
cool
the
place
West
to shoot a
Coast.
scene for a music video, so
Recent drought.
we started shooting a music video. I'm not even exaggerating. We
Maybe
probably had
4
that
or
camera
5
turned on
now.
for
That's
30
not
seconds
true.
before we had to turn
Not
it
4 or
off
5.
because started
Maybe
getting weird.
maybe 3.
I just
Maybe
remember saying,
3.
Cut the camera.
You're like,
Did you guys hear that?
maybe.
And we all
Yeah.
just stood there, just quiet and
Just a
motionless.
bundle.
Just a bundle.
Section of
Bundle
hallway
of
that our lights would
sleepies.
illuminate.
Mhm.
And I am not kidding you. Somewhere
Fell
out
asleep
there,
more than you think.
Yeah,
beyond where
I
our
think
lights could reach,
I've seen you fall asleep a few times too.
footsteps.
You
I
can
remember
see
my
me
producer
alone.
I've
Louis
had conversations with
laughing,
you,
like,
like,
no,
and then later you're just like,
no way. We just stood there,
we're like,
frozen with fear. We just stood
oh,
there and we
you
just
sleepy
listened,
girl.
and we heard
I feel
voices.
sleepy now.
Voices somewhere way out there in that maze of concrete hallways, just
Should we go to
echoing
bed?
through everywhere. And I
wanna
just
finish
said, "Yo,
this?
pack up the camera.
Yeah.
Let's get the out of here now." As we're packing up to leave, I noticed that just out of our light's reach,
And then I'm
I
eating
see
a
door,
pickle.
and it's
Okay.
a big ass metal one. So I squeeze
You're like,
past
you
Olivier,
can't stop me.
and I walk over to the
Not
door.
even a
Hush,
This
he's
giant
squeezing
steel
through
door
a
that's just
metal.
flush with the concrete inside this hallway, and I just push it open. It's the basement of a house. I just said, "Yo, shine that light over here." And there's another big metal door 6 feet away, and I walk up to it and I push it open. Basement of a house. And then another door, and I push that open, and it's a basement of a house. And as we walk out of
Says
this
the hungry
labyrinth of
woman,
concrete
salty
hallways,
pickles.
more doors, more basements of
Can't write that shit.
So it was at this
Water
point
keeps
that I
saying funny
realized
shit.
that
Like,
this
No.
wasn't a regular town.
how dare
There
you
was
talk about his
something
nose
going on.
bridge?
Something that required every house in town to be accessible by these underground tunnels
I
that
didn't
all
know I
led
was
to
asleep
a
that many
massive
times.
underground medical lab. Needless to say, we needed to
You're
shoot
bad.
this music video
You're
and get
big
the
bad.
hell out of there. By the time we found our way out of these underground tunnels and we reached the surface of Tranquil once again, it had gotten dark. And you know what's creepier than an abandoned town in the middle of nowhere with an underground mad scientist lab?
I
A
don't know.
creepy ass abandoned town in the middle of nowhere with an underground mad scientist lab in the dark, son.
Yeah.
That being said, the next couple hours went by rather smoothly, and we got some cool shots and some cool places. We pretty much got everything we needed and had wrapped up the music video. But this is where the really haunted starts. We finish the shoot, pack up the gear, hike up the hill, sneak through the trees, go around the Iron Gate, and get back to the car. We've escaped Tranquil. Or so we thought. We load everything into the trunk of the car, and the director says, "Oh, I'm missing one of my lights. I'm missing a light." And I'm like, "So what, dude? That light. Let's get the out of here." And the director goes, "Oh, well, it was a $1,200 light." And I said, "I don't give a I'm not going back into the creepy abandoned town in the middle of nowhere with the underground mad scientist lab. I'm not going back." And Olivier says, I'm with Tom. I'm not going back either." And the director says, "Somebody has to go back because I need that light. So let's all play rock, paper, scissors for it. And the loser goes back into the town to get the light." Look, I never liked fucking rock, paper, scissors. I hate that. When there's something that somebody has to do and it's an undesirable task, everybody's always like, "Let's play rock, paper, scissors." I hate rock, paper, scissors. It's an impossible game to win.
That's
I
like me all
always
the time, like,
lose.
George
We agree
Hill.
we'll play rock. Guess what? I lose. Of course, I lose. But I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm acting like a child, and Olivier has always been the more mature of our sort of duo. So he stands up, and he's just sick of listening to us and complain, and he goes, "You know what? I will go back. I'll go back and get the light. Where is it?" And the director says, it's in the sanatorium. Of course it's in the sanatorium. Where else would it be? Where else would the Lost Light be than the most haunted possible place in this abandoned town? It wouldn't make any sense for it to be anywhere else. Olivier goes, okay, cool, I'll go get the light.
You get
and
it?
with that, Olivier just turns and walks into the darkness. I turn to the director and I'm just like, dude, give me a flashlight. You gotta understand, Olivier isn't just my producer at this point. He's my best friend. And I cannot in good conscience let my best friend wander back into an abandoned town to get somebody else's light by himself. I just can't do it. So I run to catch up with him. So I reach him and I'm like, I got us a flashlight. And Olivier turns and looks at me and he doesn't say anything. He just smiles, like a full teeth grin, like one of those smiles that somebody makes when they're terrified or when they're fully aware that they're making a very poor decision and they're about to do something really stupid. Through the forest, around the fence, up the hill, down into the valley, we are back in Tranquil. It's pitch black now and I'm carrying this little rinky-dinky ass flashlight and we're just navigating through the town and we're on the way back to the sanatorium. I ask Olivier, where do you have any idea where we put this light? Olivier says, yeah, it's in the big main room. I saw him put it down there. I just don't like him, so I was just gonna let him leave it there and hope that nobody noticed and we just drive home and we'd have a good chuckle about this later on. So somehow I managed to let out a muffled laugh because it's funny, but at the same time, it's the reason why I'm standing in an abandoned town in the middle of nowhere with a creepy ass mad scientist underground lab at like 2 in the morning. We go up the old wooden stairs and push this giant creaky ass door open and step inside the sanatorium, and we're at the end of this long hallway. And at the end of that long hallway, there's a giant, big, massive open room, and that's where the light is. So we start walking down this hallway, and there's doorways lining this hallway, and they're all the padded rooms that crazy people would hang out in. We get into the big main room, and as we enter this big main room, I shine the flashlight up on the wall, and just like this perfect, massive piece of art up on the wall, it is painted, "Please burn me down." Olivier says, oh, there's the light. Walks over, picks the light up, and now that we have this all-important light in our possession, we turn and start walking back down that hallway towards the main door. Now, what happens next is probably the most horrendous thing that I've ever witnessed in my life, and I'm sure Olivier would say the same thing. In fact, I might actually call him and get his account for this video, but what happens next is the single most horrendous thing that I've ever witnessed in my life. So like I said, the hallway is lined with doors on both sides, right? And they're like holding cells, or they're like padded rooms or something. You know the ones? Yeah, you know the ones. Now, I'm not exactly sure how to explain this. You know that feeling you get when somebody is watching you? Or you know when you see something out of the corner of your eye and you quickly turn your head and there's nothing there? Or you feel the hair raise up on the back of your neck like someone's standing behind you, but by the time you spin around to face it, it's gone? Okay, that happened to both of us at the exact same time. Except something was watching us. And that thing in the corner of your eye that you don't expect to see when you look, we saw it. And that thing that you feel behind you when the hair raises up on your neck and you spin around, and when you spin around it's gone, it was there when we spun around. In perfect synchronization, all this happened. We turn and shine the flashlight into the padded room next to us, and there it is. A shadow standing up from the floor. Not a shadow cast on the floor, a shadow standing up off the floor. It looked just like a person, except it wasn't a person. It was featureless and almost transparent and massive and daunting and rigidly standing there with its arms by its sides. You can't see from where you're at right now, but I have goosebumps all over me. And at the same time, we just started to run. And we were so scared, and it was so dark. We were just like two frantic animals running from a predator. It was like some sort of primal survival instinct had taken over, and we were just absolutely frantic, and we were falling over each other and tripping over rubble and tripping over pieces of fallen wall and ladders and all of this stuff that we can't see in the dark. And somehow we made it to the front door. We kicked that motherfucker open and ran out into the middle of the street. And we didn't stop running.
He's like, we made it to the end of the hallway. He's like, you know what we did when we saw that shadow? We started kicking that motherfucker.
As far away from whatever the hell that thing was, as far away as we could get. As fast as we could get there, we were going. And after running for what seemed like a marathon, we just finally stopped and we almost collapsed on the ground, and we're just spinning our heads like a swivel from side to side, just trying to orient ourselves and gain some sort of information about where we had ran to. And I'm gasping for breath and looking around, and I'd say to Olivier, where are we? And Olivier says, I don't know. And I picked a flashlight up and I flash it around and I'm looking. And that's when I have another terrifying realization, and I say out loud, dude, we're lost. And I mean, we're so scared, and it's so dark, and this town is so big that we've completely lost ourselves in what's transpired here. And I remember Olivier gasping, I think the car's that way. You know, and he just kind of points out with one hand, just totally exhausted. So I turn the flashlight in the direction that he's pointing, and I shit you not, I take one step, and this flashlight flickers twice and dies. We're lost. It's dark. We have no flashlight, and there's that thing in the sanatorium. I honestly don't remember the next 30 minutes. And I don't remember the next 30 minutes because we were just running on pure adrenaline and racked with fear. But we found our way out. And this time when we crossed those train tracks and went up that hill, before going into that forest, we turned around and we looked down on Tranquil one last time. And guess what?
Flick her in the head?
The lights in the sanatorium were on. So we barreled through the trees and around the iron gate and over to the car. And I remember Olivier opening up the car door, and he's leaning the front seat forward and he's scrambling to try and get into the back seat of the car. And I had just had enough. I remember putting my foot on his ass and just shoving him into the back of the car, standing the seat up,
I flicked her in the
jumped
head,
in,
she was hitting me.
slammed the door, and I just said, drive. The director started, oh, what happened? And I said, shut the f up and drive. So we made it back home, mostly unscathed and in one piece. But you know what the craziest part of this whole thing was? You remember those kids I mentioned at the beginning of the story? Well, when I got home, I started Googling.
No, I have to drink again.
And I
I
started
eat again.
researching that abandoned town. That's when I found out that Tranquil was an abandoned town where people with tuberculosis
What's up, Alesto?
go
We're watching
and live
spooky
out their
stuff.
final days. That's when I found out it was the most haunted
Yep,
place
we're in the
North
mood
America.
for some
That's
spooky
also
stuff.
when I found out that those underground tunnels were used to remove the dead bodies
For
from their
Halloween.
houses without having to wheel corpses through the streets of the
Halloween.
town and scare the
What you
out
up
of
to?
all the children and everybody else living there. But the scariest thing I found out was that 10 years prior to our experience in Tranquil, 2 kids went out there ghost hunting. And they fell through the floor in one of the houses and died.
Oh, that's not.
A boy and a girl.
Well, that's bad.
They saw him.
Yeah.
They gave him something spooky.
Maybe 1 or 2 more of the Luke's top 5, but then it's bedtime.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. The Lighthouse Keeper. If you're one of the very few people who have never watched BuzzFeed Unsolved on YouTube, the series can basically be summarized like this. It's sort of a ghost hunting show, but not a typical
You still
one.
gotta write
The show has
scary
two
story
hosts,
for 'em.
Ryan and Shane. Now Shane is a diehard skeptic of the paranormal.
Anytime there's like any chance of sort of any kind of mechanical failure or just doors in general, people are always like, well, the door open, so that's ghost. I don't want to argue with you on this. If you find it compelling, I'm happy for
I
you.
do find it compelling. And
Great.
I'm happy for me too.
Good.
And then there's Ryan, who is the polar opposite, and might even be just a bit too scared of the supernatural.
Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid.
In each episode,
Wait,
the
it
two
was
hosts
debunked?
visit allegedly haunted places and investigate to search for real paranormal evidence.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate St. Augustine Lighthouse as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real?
No.
In this episode, they are investigating the notoriously haunted St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida. The lighthouse was completed in 1874 and has seen its fair share of tragedy over the nearly 200 years that it has been guiding sailors home from the sea. BuzzFeed Unsolved hosts Ryan and Shane begin their investigation at the historic Lightkeeper's house, which is right beside the lighthouse. People say that they have heard the endless and painful coughing of the spirit of a man named William Harn.
Okay.
He was the very first keeper of the lighthouse back in the 1800s. Harn tragically passed away inside the house of malaria and the lung disease tuberculosis. When they try to reach out to the spirit of William, the two friends capture something truly bizarre.
All right, we're gonna give you some silence here, William. If there's anything you'd like to say to us, maybe a message you wish you could have communicated before you left Earth. I'm gonna sit in one of these little tiny chairs and make me look like you. Gonna give you some silence right now.
Just it goes.
Ryan and Shane captured the unexplained sound of someone coughing, just like guests claim to have heard in the past. Could this be the spirit of William, who died of tuberculosis? Next, Ryan and Shane finally enter the actual lighthouse, which is said to be a hotbed of paranormal activity.
The best ghost evidence of
I
all
want to see
time, in my
somebody like
opinion,
go into
or
a
at least some
room
of it,
like,
has been caught
okay,
right
wait,
here.
is there a spirit in here?
And just her like vomiting everywhere.
1800s guy in a top hat with nothing other than whitey tighties busts into the room. He's like, starts ripping shit
So to
apart.
test this theory, both Ryan and Shane will be locked inside separately to investigate. Shane heads in first for his solo investigation, but he doesn't really experience much.
All right, so I'm going in there, I'm going to the top,
Yeah.
and I'm coming back down.
Yeah, that's what you do in a staircase. Yeah.
Sounds good.
The guy in the Philippines.
This is high time for a ghoul to come out and spook me.
He's like, I ain't afraid
So far,
of
no
ghosts. And they're like, we're throwing chairs at you. He's like, cool.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Full body.
That guy wasn't scared at all.
I feel nothing. I really don't. I don't get any vibes. I haven't felt anything strange all night. All right, see you later, dudes.
Next, it's Ryan's turn. And now, before we proceed, it should be noted here that during the building of the lighthouse, a young girl named Eliza tragically lost her life while playing at the construction site. Visitors have reported seeing a young girl in a red dress inside the lighthouse who just faded away into thin air right before their eyes.
Everyone who's gone in there has seen something, for the most part, if they've gone by themselves. You know what? I'm eager to add my name to that roster.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Is there anybody in here with me right now? My name is Ryan. What? Can you say my name back to me? Oh my god, I just heard Eliza. Oh my god. Eliza? Why do you sound like that? Oh my god, I'm panicking, I do hear you. Oh my god, I just heard to hear me. I got the chills. Why am I leaving? What the is that what you just say?
because I'm scared, that's why. Sayonara, you had your chance.
Turn off your radio.
I almost had a panic attack.
Did you? You are wet.
I said, who's up here? What's your name? And it's just so clear, just Eliza.
Ryan is freaked out as he gets some very weird direct responses on his spirit box. One of the answers
Look
being
for crying
Eliza,
pussy.
the name of the child that passed away at the lighthouse. Now, Shane, on the other hand, didn't capture anything and is completely unimpressed with the whole location. But after the video was uploaded to YouTube, many viewers pointed out that skeptical Shane might have actually caught the most compelling and absolutely chilling evidence of all.
This one is different.
For a ghoul
When I
to
saw
come out and spook me.
the man on top.
So far, no ghouls.
Did you see it? Watch again.
This is high time for a ghoul to come out and spook me.
Oh.
So far, no ghouls.
A dark figure of a man can be seen standing at the bottom of the lighthouse. When
Yeah.
the footage is brightened, the man has no distinguishable features and looks more like a black mass than a person. Now, Shane was completely alone inside the lighthouse when he filmed. So just
Yeah,
who
whenever they do
or
those, they
what
go
is
solo.
this? Could it be the ghost of one of the many deceased keepers who are
That
said
straight,
to haunt
that
the
straight up
lighthouse?
looks like they're wearing
You
a period
decide.
coat. You know what I mean? Like an old coat. Because it's like, that would make your...
All right, see you later, dudes.
The
would
final
make you just
night.
kind of...
Alexander
That was
Lavazov from Russia says
cool.
that he's been living in the same apartment for over 3 years, when suddenly and inexplicably, strange paranormal things began to happen around his home. Loud, unexplained noises would wake him up in the middle of the night. Things around the house would move on their own, and scariest of all, one night when he was in bed, sound asleep, someone or
This
something
figure is
suddenly
either
grabbed onto his wrist,
computer-generated
squeezing
or
hard.
shadow from the
He jerked his
beams.
arm away and lurched out of bed,
Does
searching
that look
his
like a
room.
beam shadow?
But there was no one there. He says that the paranormal activity in his apartment just increased over time until eventually he decided to just move out. So Alex is set to move out of his apartment the next day, but he decides to try to record the strange supernatural activity one last time. This video was meant to be Alex's last night in his apartment. First, he sits in front of his camera and explains what's been going on in his apartment. As he's talking, he hears something strange.
Я сразу же вскочил, включил свет. Это не может не напугать.
It just, if you zoom into the shadow figure, there's a Reddit post that pretty much very concerning questions. Oh, about the same exact thing.
Просто знакомый звук. Так, изредка я услышал, ну, похож.
Something moves somewhere in the apartment, and Alex believes it might have been the kitchen cabinet door. He decides to set up his camera in his bedroom and leaves for 2 hours to meet up with a friend.
Алло? Да, сейчас приеду, ага. Давай.
Alex turns off the light and leaves. But what happens while he's gone is truly bizarre.
Ghosts are kind of asshole.
No, so seriously. That's how much I care about ghosts. If I was getting haunted, I'd be like,
That's what I was saying. I'd be like, someone in here, and you're like,
there's someone in here.
go back to bed. It's just a ghost.
see, look, he's a ghost.
Alex returns home and just goes to bed. The next day, he discovers that his landlord is unavailable to pick up his apartment keys. And after reviewing his footage, Alex is unsatisfied with the potato-quality video he has recorded in his dark apartment. So, he decides to stay one more night, this time leaving the camera recording, but with the lights on. Just like the night before, he again leaves to meet up with
But
a
I'm
friend.
too tired to
The
care.
camera captures something downright creepy.
Downright creepy.
That's the name of the video.
Now give me a blanket. Thank you. You do this.
I'm gonna bet him.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm awake. But this is working out.
You just see like a floating sheet run in and just start ripping shit apart.
He's gotta get strong to rip up the bad guy.
He starts bouncing on the bed.
I mean,
like,
the main guy.
like the ghost is like wearing like.
Wait, who's the main guy? Is it the ghost or the good guy? Oh, that's not good. Bad ghost, bad. That's not what was involved in your training.
They're like, so and so goes out to meet a friend and leaves the camera on, and he goes outside. He's like, yeah, I'll be there in a minute. And then he comes back in. He's wearing the same shoes, but he's just got a sheet over him, and he starts throwing stuff around.
Yeah. Look, he even tossed the camera
Alex
over.
is shocked when he comes home as he discovers that his camera has somehow flipped upside down all on its own. He grabs the camera and begins to film his thoughts on the strange situation. What happens next is absolutely terrifying.
Я смотрю, у нас сегодня рыбный день. Охереть вообще. Что там осталось? Слушай, ну вообще жесть. Ну что могу сказать? Это был последний день, поэтому мы уже... Блядь! О. А, до усрачки. Ё... Это можно вообще... А, блядь. Так.
A pair of legs can be seen standing right behind Alex in the doorway. The legs appear to have no torso and disappear before Alex can even turn around.
That's not good.
So, did Alex capture proof of the paranormal in his apartment? Or is it illusion? I leave it up to you to decide.
Also known as fuck.
Viewer videos. Ethan
No, I
Budzinski
have
was
to
on
go
a
to
family
sleep.
vacation in the
I'm
Pocono
so
Mountains
tired.
of
I'm, like,
Pennsylvania when
falling
strange things
asleep.
began to happen in his rented Airbnb home. Late one night, Ethan and his family hear the sound of a baby crying from somewhere in the house. Now, Ethan's two young nephews are asleep in bed upstairs, so he immediately runs up to check on them, only to find that they are both quietly asleep in bed. This occurs several times. Ethan hears crying, then goes upstairs to find the children quietly asleep. So the next time Ethan hears the crying, He pulls out his phone and starts recording.
Heads or tails?
Tails.
Okay. Looks like she's doing some spooky shit.
Did you hear it, Judge?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just went up there. He was sound asleep.
Okay, that's what I heard.
No, it looks like she's doing some like crazy weird shit too. So I hope you guys enjoy the raid, and I hope you take your medications as prescribed on a daily basis. And I love you all, and I'll see you
The
next
eerie
time.
sound of a
Happy
child
Halloween.
crying can
And
indeed
happy
be
Halloween.
heard coming from somewhere upstairs. Both Ethan and a family member hear the sound, but when he heads upstairs to check, just like before, the children are fast asleep and not making a sound. So just where is this strange, unexplained crying coming from?
Cool.